Holy fuck!
Snazzy.
Hey, I was just waiting for the bomb to go off.
Delegate people's attention.
You did that for? I was really enjoying that you ruined it. Good music, didn't it? Brought the life out of me. Hold on, let me just open the door and check.
Yeah.
Oh shit! It was just on the telly.
Yeah.
Woo.
Duck and cover and kiss your ass goodbye.
The reboot is strong with this one.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You know what's
Well,
funny when that played? Right when that bomb dropped, we lost a viewer.
Yeah,
Right when the bomb dropped. So, good morning, everybody. Let's go.
This is the first time I've seen everybody just quiet the first like 10 seconds. Well, I mean, how can he possibly say good morning after nuclear killing us all? Yeah, that's just great. Bloody hell. Nice one. Thanks, mate. Really lowered the tone. Yeah.
Gobby, how you doing?
Well, I was doing fine until you did that. Now I'm terrified. I thought I had
training.
Oh, yeah, you know what my training used to say? Forget it, you were going to die.
Yeah.
The terror attack warning sounds like. This is the sound.
Oh, no.
Willie, good morning.
We're live.
Yes.
I saw that. I lost my mind.
Nice.
I'm good. How's everybody doing? All right.
Good.
You know. Yeah.
Mr. ZeeThreepio, how are you this fine day?
Contemplating my own mortality after that intro.
Yes, just a bit.
Thinking there's people that I have to call, people I have to see. I don't know. The whole thing's just left me really disillusioned. Why am I on the planet?
Well, gonna have to adjust your programming.
That really went dark really fast. I mean, it was all nice and happy. I'm sitting here watching this like, holy shit, man, Wookiee's doing something. And then it just went dark. And I was like, wow.
It started with a flash.
Started with a flash. Oh, dear, what do I have on my head? You want to hear the panda story? No, I'm not gonna.
Oh yeah. Crual, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. Am I the only one?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I loved it. That was great. I loved it. I was just waiting for the bomb to go off, and it didn't disappoint.
Oh, you know what? That's the difference between marriage and happy. You're happy.
Well, I suppose so. I like how you spliced in Indiana Jones and Terminator 2 for that. That was good. I liked it.
Yes. Can thank
Emergency
my editor for that. Like,
I'm now running the BBC emergency broadcast signal that you would get just before you died.
Yeah.
There you go. This is the actual thing that you would see on the telly. You should
say,
now prepare for a nuclear strike. Be prepared to shelter for just 14 days after the strike. There you go. Fifth day, 15 days.
As if it's over 100 miles away from your location.
There you go. This is the official BBC Her Majesty's government warning when we're all going to die. There you go.
Excellent.
Find yourself a sturdy table and hide you and your family underneath it.
Oh,
I'll just hide in my bed. That'll do. I'll just pull the covers up.
You're
It'll be
just
all right.
watching this. They reckon that it's okay after 14 days. No problem at all.
What I mean, what did they say in the 40s? Duck and cover. If there's a
Well,
nuclear,
yeah,
just
back
find
in-
get
Yeah.
underneath your desk and duck
Get
and
underneath
cover.
your desk. But what that was only to protect you from the blast from the windows and all the
Yeah.
shrapnel flying around. But
Oh
outside
yeah.
of that,
What do you think happened to Ling Ming when she ducked and
makes you laugh
covered
without
over
you, all right.
there? Huh? Yeah. Terrible.
Oh,
Terrible.
shit.
Terrible.
terrible.
Yes.
Terrible.
I'll just keep running it out. 3.5 liters of water per person per day. Where the hell are you going to get all that water from? For 14 days?
Preppers.
I've got a family of 9. For fuck's sake, man.
Preppers.
I need a lake.
Hey, what does he say in the movie Dodgeball? I don't have to drink my piss, but I do because I like the taste and it's thorough. You can drink your own
Ooh.
piss if you want. I don't know.
Oh, that's nuts.
Bear Grylls does it all the
There you go.
time. It's like a chaser for his like beer guts or deer guts.
Nice.
First though.
There you go. I've turned that off now because due to the stuff, I'm dead any case. I can't afford all that water.
I know, right?
Well,
Well, there you go. So,
Yeah. Well.
Oh.
I know what I've been doing in the last 3 minutes. I've been running the stream.
Yeah, there you go.
You can watch me get nuked live on Zelly.
There you go.
Hey.
You get a bunch of clicks on that one.
Oh, everyone, the bombs dropping. You see the fire's coming towards us. Whoosh.
this is the BBC. A prank was pulled online, fooling millions. Some asshole named File 13 posted an intro. Yeah, I'm sitting there like with my face all. They find the worst picture. They never find a good picture, just the worst one.
Oh, it's always
So-
the worst one.
Yeah, they'll post that, and then next you know, somebody's knocking on Gobby's, door, and
There's always
Crual's
somebody
good.
knocking on my door, mate.
well, I could see Crual getting lifted up and off the couch, and it's like, well, gotta go, boys.
Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go.
What are we doing again?
Yeah, what we're here for?
We are doing
Knocking on Gobby's door.
we're doing
Knocking on Gobby's
knocking
door.
on Gobby's door. No, we're doing a versus.
That's just thought
this will be
now.
This should be fun and possibly controversial.
All right.
I'm so glad he got photos of me. That's
yeah.
awesome.
If it decides it wants to work here, I don't. There we go.
Why
It's
did you
taking
speak
its
in
sweet
third
ass
person
out.
like the guy that says it puts
If
the
we're,
lotion
if
on
we're
the
not
skin?
annoying somebody, then we're doing something wrong. Ooh.
Bob Dole. Bob Dole likes this. Bob Dole likes that. Bob Dole. Wait a minute. Holy shit. So here we have the first slide of verses. We have the Space Marines from Alien 2. And we have Arnie and the boys from Predator. So
Right.
I'm going to pick Arnie and the boys. I don't give a shit.
All right.
Arnie and the boys. Arnie and the boys, my choice. Gobby, what's your in a firefight in a real fight?
Who are we
gonna
going
pick?
against? Hold on.
Which
Who are we going
team?
against? We need to start there. Who
Yeah,
are we
yeah.
going
Well,
against?
I thought they were going against each other, Willie.
Well, I don't know because then it's not fair because then you have a technological difference. Like,
Okay.
So the way that I see it is like, all right, so who are we going against? If we were going against, I don't know, shit, man. Fuck. Well, if they were going against one another, who you would definitely go with
Arnie
the
and the
Arnold
boys.
team?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
There's
because they
dude, there's so much testosterone in that picture, dude, that they could get the entire stadium at Wembley Field pregnant.
You know the difference is why you would go with the Space Marine, Arnie's boys against the Space Marines. It's because Arnie's boys in the entire film reloaded once, whereas the Space Marines regularly ran out of ammunition. So yes, and they did immense damage with 2 MP5s. Oh yeah, okay, 9mm. Yeah, great. Yeah, no, the Space Marines would kick Arnie's ass because their weaponry is much better. It's a 10mm explosive round, so There you go. End of game. In my opinion. Any case, but there you go. From
Willie.
a purely mental perspective.
Mhm.
Willie, what's your view?
Oh my goodness. Well, if yeah. Well, I beat the panda guy next to me. I don't know. You got to think of firepower. They only had one minigun, although badass. I gotta go with the aliens. I gotta go with the Marines. I mean, they just and not just that. You know, the capacity of reloading. Then you got to think for the they had sentries and those. I'm going based on just if we're looking at these specific situations that they were in. So you have one minigun. The other team has sentries. You have I don't know. Two M60s would look like two M60 mock-ups on each side for my money is with the Space Marines. But I mean, if you switch scenarios, who would you want fighting the Predator? Would you want the Space Marines fighting the Predator, or would they handle the same? So I mean, if we're going versus each one another, I'm with Gobby on this one. We're going Space Marines. Bing.
There you go.
Cool. Cruel, what's your take?
Well, I also have to concur with Gobby and WillyP here. Purely on the tech aspect of it, you've got Drake and Vasquez there. They're two smart gunners per squad, and the smart guns have got the ability to track their targets. Therefore, the bullets track their targets. You've got the tech, you've got the different caliber and motion trackers and various different other things that the Space Marines use. So I'm purely on tech. I don't know about experience, mind, but purely on tech alone, I would say the Space Marines take it.
Okay, Z,
my-
what's your thought?
My 2 cents.
Well, the Space Marines do have the better hardware, and they have equivalent levels of experience. If you were giving the Space Marines weapons to Arnie and the boys, they would massacre anything that walked in front of them quite easily.
Right.
If they were equally armed, then it would be Arnie. But as they're not, then I'm going with the Space Marines, just purely on tech. But if they both had the same weaponry,
Fair enough.
I think Arnie's team would wipe the floor with them.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
if the hardware were equivalent, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let's
That was
see
quick and
here.
simple.
And the next one is, and this is going to be an interesting one here. We have Charles Bronson playing Paul Kersey in the Death Wish series of movies, and Clint Eastwood playing Harry Callahan in the Dirty Harry series of movies.
Oh.
Now, on this one, I'm going to have to say, and I might be a little controversial, but I'm going to go with Bronson. I'm going to go with Paul Kersey. And the reason why I say that is because he's a vigilante.
Do you feel lucky?
He's a vigilante. He has no boundaries where a police officer, Dirty Harry walked the line. He did step over it a few times, but Bronson's already on the other line and he's already there, in my opinion. So they both get things done. They're both fearless. They both have confidence in what they're doing. They know what they're doing. I'm going to go with the Bronson character, just because he has more. The movies kind of evolved that character from the first one to the last one that he did. So he was exposed to different types of weaponry, different tactics, things like that to get whatever he was doing done. Whereas Harry Callahan, in my opinion, just had his 44 Magnum or his auto mag. He did have a 44 Magnum rifle, but, I don't know. What say you guys? Gobby?
Paul Kersey. Even though I love Dirty Harry. It's one
Oh,
of my
me too. I'm a big fan.
If you go purely on body count, you've got to go. You've got to go Paul Kersey. Harry does have one of his hands tied behind his back because he is a cop.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Paul, not only with his guns, but the traps he sets. I can't remember which one when he has the wooden board that springs up and slacks the guy in the face, and when he comes back down, it's got his two front teeth embedded in the plank. Things like Paul Kersey all the way. There you go.
Yeah.
all the way.
Yeah, that's all right. And Willie, what's your what say you?
He's
He's muted.
You've muted your mic, you muppet. I think he's on a rant.
Ling Ling the panda got his tongue.
Next. Give me a second. I'm looking something up.
Oh, he's looking something up.
Willie, we need you to.
Okay, hey,
you
so
to
all right,
answer
so
this
in
question.
death, all right, simply put, Dirty Harry had a 44 Magnum, but he had 6 shots, right? But he never
Yeah.
knew whether he had 5 or 6. Are you lucky punk? Do you
Mhm.
feel lucky punk?
Yeah,
Right. I'm going with the because
Yeah.
in the first movie he had what is it? Fuck. All right. So in the first, it's not the first movie. I'm going with the third movie. Third movie, Bronson Death Wish, where he had the automatic machine gun. And he was killing the gangsters. So
Yeah.
my money's on Paul Kersey. He just didn't give a shit after a
No.
while. Just everybody in the neighborhood started cheering him on when he's just wiping people down with an automatic machine gun. So my money's on Paul Kersey. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Z, what say you?
I'm going to go with Harry.
Yeah.
Ah.
The reason for this is he takes them down, but he does it kind of legally, whereas Paul is just the
Right.
vigilante that we all wish that we could be. There are people in our lives that we honestly think, yeah, I'd take them down without too much. But then you've got to face the repercussions for that. And Harry kind of doesn't.
Yep. Well, I see that point. Crual, what say you?
Well, this is where I'm at a bit of a disadvantage because I've seen in recent years the Dirty Harry films quite a bit because I've got them all myself. I saw Death Wish, the original, a few years back. I hadn't seen it for years and years. And as for the other movies in that series, it's been I don't think I've seen any of them since I was a teenager, to be brutally honest. So I'm a little uneducated at this, but I would kind of parrot some of what you've been saying about Paul Kersey being not necessarily shackled with the law. So as much as I love Clint Eastwood, I will sort of lean towards Paul Kersey, but I can't really give a proper educated opinion.
Yeah, see, the
I'll just go
good
with
thing
him.
about these,
Yeah.
a good thing about both of these series of movies that Eastwood did and Bronson did, they pretty much ran along the same time period. They both, I think the Death Wish, the first one came out in 74.
70s.
Yeah, and I think Dirty Harry came out either the year before or the year after or somewhere in that time frame. So like the movies kind of followed the same path as far as timing when they were released and et cetera. To a certain
Dirty Harry was
to a certain
Dirty Harry
degree.
was 71, Magnum Force 73.
Force. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So they're both products of the 70s. So but all right. So let's see what's next on the okay.
Sure.
This one might be a little interesting here for everybody. And that is the Thunderbirds versus Team America Force.
Fuck yeah!
Puppets! Fuck yeah! Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah!
America!
Fuck yeah!
Okay, Gobby, what say you? The chances if these two guys go head to head, Thunderbirds have all the interesting vehicles.
You know where he's gonna go. This is a given.
I know where he's
but
gonna
I'm
go.
curious. I'm curious.
I don't know where he's gonna go.
I'm an Englishman. Oh, of course,
Yes.
it'll be Thunderbirds, old chap. Yes, by far. By far. The thing is, if you actually watch Team America, those guys actually can't hit shit. They can't hit the side of a barn door. They are the worst. Everything they do is by pure accident. So Thunderbirds.
So what? They're worse than Stormtroopers? Are they worse than Stormtroopers or better than Stormtroopers?
Well, if you between, we don't know. Stormtroopers are just awful as well, but no. But if you want to go for the best funny film that caused me to almost wet my pants, then it would be Team America. But if it was against them, Thunderbirds would absolutely dick Team America every single day.
All right. All right, Gobby. Now, Mr. Willie P, what say you? What's your choice?
So, I'm going with Team America for two reasons.
Imagine
And
that.
2 reasons alone, right?
America.
No, not even. Fuck yeah, Americana.
Fuck yeah.
Two reasons. Okay, one, because they have intelligence. Okay,
Where?
in the move we're going off the Team America, and they have a computer called intelligence.
No, that's true, I suppose. Yeah.
And 2, because everything is 9/11 times something.
True.
And if you can just do 9/11 times something, it makes everything else not matter. And in a fight, that's more important than anything else.
Yep.
Kiss my ass, Gobby.
There you go.
Fuck yeah.
No.
Z? Wait,
Yeah, I'm
pardon
with
me,
Team
Crual.
America.
Crual,
I'm with
what,
Team
What do you
America.
got? What's your opinion?
Ooh, very difficult because I mean Thunderbirds don't have much in the way of offensive weapons. They've got them pistols, and that's about it. Whereas Team America are armed to the police. Thunderbirds are more due to rescue, which is defensive capability. They could probably withstand an assault from Team America, but I think they will just have to succumb, and Team America would win just due to arms more than anything else.
Wow.
So Team America for Mr. Z. Crual, what's your opinion?
Well, again, it's a very limited one because I haven't actually seen Team America.
Uh-oh.
I have certainly seen Thunderbirds,
Really?
and no, I haven't. No, I've seen clips of it, but I haven't actually seen it. So
Oh, you should. It's awesome.
again,
It's fun, though.
based on what limited things I know, obviously Thunderbirds is international rescue. So I'll just assume that Team America would be the one that comes out on top,
Why the hell would you say?
based on it being a police force and being armed, properly armed, combat trained, etc. But again, that's my sort of uneducated opinion,
Wow. On my own. On my own.
logic, and all that.
Yeah, you are. Gobby.
No,
Well,
he's not
he's
alone.
he's not alone, but he's a
There's a weirdo on the chat.
weirdo.
No,
Who's the
Yeah.
weirdo?
nobody.
His wife.
Shut up.
Holy crap, dude.
Someone's
She
not
does
getting any
enjoy-
supper later on.
Shush. She does enjoy the Thunderbirds, I gotta tell you.
Yeah, it's a good series.
Okay, so this one might be an interesting one. It was definitely interesting to me, but it was brought up, and I think it's an interesting one. The kids from the movie Goonies versus the kids from the movie It. Who do you think would freaking survive? I don't know. I'm gonna pick. I picked the kids from the Goonies. So, Gobby, what say you? Who do you think would survive?
Based on the fact that none of the Goonies died,
That's a good point.
Controversy,
speculation. You know, it wasn't
that they're alive.
They're pretty good. I mean, they fought off really badass, ugly woman and hey, you guys. But no, the Goonies would win because the others died. A lot of them, no, Goonies all the way.
Yeah, did they die? Did the movie It kids die as kids?
I really don't care. The Goonies are better than it.
All right.
Pure and simple.
So Goonies.
Mind you,
for,
which it are we talking
Gobbies.
about? Are we talking about which it?
Booty
there's like-
twaps.
The original
Oh,
TV movie.
Oh, the original. Yeah,
The original with Tim Curry
Yeah,
as the
that way. It's the Goonie kids all the time. In fact, no, actually, let's be honest. They'd all be dead. All of them. Every single one. They'd be floating away with balloons. Yeah, no. But there you go. No, the Goonie kids. Goonie kids are awesome. Booby traps. It's just, way, way better.
Willie P, what do you say?
Excuse me. Give me 1 second.
Wait,
Okay.
Wait.
What the fuck is going on?
Booty traps.
Oh, he says booty twaps. Booty twaps.
Booty traps.
Booty twaps.
Wait.
Everybody, booty twap. All right,
Wait.
so
Wait.
goodness, they had data. Yeah, man. Yeah, the booty twaps.
The booty traps.
Okay, so here's the deal. We're going on a fight. They're gonna fight each other, right? So all the kids in the It movie had medical conditions, right? The one kid had the inhaler, the other, and they all were like skinny kids.
True.
So all I would worry about, right, in this little group were 3 people: the fat kid, the black kid, and the slingshot girl. Okay, they're the threats. Okay, the rest of them you could win them out, beat the shit out of them. If you look on the other team, Josh Brolin, I didn't even know what role. Josh Brolin, is that his name? Correct me if I'm wrong. He can take out the black kid. That's my thought on it, right?
Yeah.
The one that does the little jiggle shake, right? Him and one of the Corey brothers, they can take out the fat kid, right? The rest of them, I'm pretty sure they can take them one-on-one, because you got to remember there's 2 female teenagers. There's another female. So they have them in numbers. They can tag up. So my money is on the Goonie kids if they're going to fight one-on-one, because you can make fun of them and win there too on the psychological, battle. So yeah, Goonie kids all the way.
Okie dokie. Z, what say you?
Goonie Kid's gonna fuck them up.
Yeah.
They've got ingenuity. They're resourceful. They've got tits on their team.
Yeah, but also don't forget they got Thanos.
Yeah,
I was away to say.
They got
they're already done. They just don't know it yet.
wait, don't they? But they have frickin' Wesley on their team, don't they?
They're gonna battle royale the shit out of them
Yeah.
Agree.
Nice.
and be back in time
Oh shit!
for treasure.
For treasure time.
There you go.
Goonies for the sweep.
Cruel. What do you say? What do you think, sir?
Well, this might surprise everybody, but the Goonies have got Thanos, so they win.
There you go. End up.
Just like that.
They got Thanos, so they win. Oh,
That's it. It was simple. Gone. Click a finger.
That's all you
That's not
need.
fair. That's bullshit. We were playing those type of roles, like future roles. Okay, let's play future roles then.
No. Yeah, as it is, the kids versus the kids as they are. So.
Goonies all the way.
Yeah.
I still think the Goonies would win. There's more ingenuity and anyway.
Let's see. Okay, the next item, the next one. This might be. I don't know if a lot of you guys even know. Maybe a few of you will know what these 2 shows were. Blue Thunder helicopter versus the Airwolf helicopter.
Yeah.
Easy. This one's easy.
Gobby,
Airwolf all the way.
what say you?
Airwolf all the way.
That's my choice too.
Airwolf why? Because it's more heavily armed, it's more maneuverable, it's quicker, it's faster. And Blue Thunder, although I do like both shows, Blue Thunder was too slow, not maneuverable. No helicopter can do a fucking loop like he reckons it can. So yeah, Airwolf all the time, every day. Much better systems. You remember that Blue Thunder's a lot of Blue Thunder's systems are for surveillance, whereas Airwolf is a pure combat chopper. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WillyP, what say you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm with Airwolf, and I have looped the helicopter, so thank you.
This is a computer game, buddy.
Into the side of the hill.
I gotta. Oh no, it's hit the hill just maybe once or twice. No, you have to go with Airwolf. Just exactly what Gobby said. I mean, it's Blue Thunder's a police vehicle, surveillance. You know, if you watch it, it is in. Well, who was in? Roy Schneider was in that.
Yeah,
that the original movie.
Right?
Yeah, '83. Roy Scheider
and a little great series. I mean, you gotta go with Airwolf. Plus, great theme and the best sound a helicopter could make when it's flying.
Oh yeah,
Oh God, yeah.
exactly.
Talk about a picture that you can hear. You know, it's a
Yeah,
picture
the
you can
TV
hear.
The
you know.
TV show, I forget the actor's name, but that played the Scheider part. But the guy that played the Jaffo part was
How was it, Judge
Judge
Reinhold?
no,
No.
no, it was no.
Airwolf,
But in the
Airwolf.
movie, I think it might have been but in Blue Thunder, the TV series, the guy that played Jaffo, the co-pilot, that was Dana
Yeah.
Carvey.
Oh yeah, it was that in the TV series. It was. It was
Yeah, in
Judge
the TV
Reinhold in the.
series with Dana
It was
Carvey.
it was Judge Reinhold in the movie. Yeah,
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, okay.
yeah.
yeah. That's one.
So, Mr.
Yeah,
Z,
it was the
what
guy
do
from
you?
Home Alone. It was the guy from Home Alone, and
Yeah,
Blue Thunder's a nice addition, but Errol's going to kick the shit out of it.
Yeah.
it's just too damn
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
super fast, military grade. It could detect
Yeah.
that thing before it even knows Airwolf
Yeah, the Blue
exists
Thunder
and
moves too
blow it
slow.
out with a long range missile. It's gone. It's
Yeah.
its piece is junk. There's a reason that Blue Thunder
Yeah.
didn't take off in the 80s, and that's because Airwolf was by far
Way better.
the most superior
I
helicopter.
think what did that series only last a couple seasons, didn't it? Blue
Yeah.
Thunder.
Which one? Yeah, Blue. Yeah, it didn't last very
one
long.
Yeah.
season, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
yeah,
just look at the
possibly one
two.
season.
Blue Thunder looks angular and clunky. Airwolf looks
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah.
It's very
That is
sleek.
a sexy helicopter. And it
Say that
comes
again,
in-
please. Hold on. I want to record that. Ready? Go.
Airwolf is a sexy helicopter.
Holy fuck! I just 1 second, boys. Got a little creamy there. Got to get the baby
not
wipes.
this again.
Oh,
But
holy shit!
it's sexy in the same way that Kit was sexy. That was a sexy
Yeah.
car.
Yeah,
The A-Team's van was a sexy van.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't have the A-Team in a pickup, for example.
no.
And-
Now-
and that's the comparison between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
even
Airwolf and Red
Street
Airwolf?
Hawk. Street Hawk was a sexy motorbike, but
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
you wouldn't put it up against a moped, would you?
Well, no.
Nope. Not at all. Not at all.
That is a sexy
Mr.
helicopter.
Cruel, what do you have to say on this subject? What's your opinion and pick?
Well, I've certainly got the Blue Thunder movie, and I've certainly got all the Airwolf seasons on DVD. I haven't seen the Blue Thunder show since I was little, but yeah, it has to be Airwolf, pretty much for the same reasons that everybody else has mentioned. It's combat. This is completely different. I mean, as you stated, the Blue Thunder was more for surveillance and I guess riot control. That type
Right.
of thing. It's not as heavily armed as Airwolf. It's not as fast as Airwolf.
Nope.
And again, but Willie mentioned that Red Wolf. If it was Red Wolf,
Yeah.
Red Wolf's got a bloody laser cannon on the front of it. So there you go.
Holy
Certainly
shit.
has.
I mean,
Certainly did.
Airwolf took out Red Wolf, and Airwolf actually took out the HX-1 as well, which is another combat-ready helicopter. So, and a whole bunch of planes. And even Airwolf, if you remember the show, Airwolf never did a loop-the-loop either. It didn't. It went up and then kind of spun round and came back down again.
Yeah,
It didn't loop.
like real helicopters do. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing.
So,
They don't know what
and,
they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing.
for me, it's Airwolf.
Those actors
For
can't
me, it's
fly
Airwolf.
helicopters.
I'd love to see the Blue Thunder show again, but
Bro, I'm gonna show you right now how you do
Airwolf
that shit. I'm gonna try to pull this shit off live.
Oh
Here we
no. What is he gonna try to do?
I
now?
saw you
Continue with the
chopper
stream.
yesterday, Willie.
What?
We're good. Oh yeah, you know that stupid little 5-minute clip is got over 100 views right now.
Yeah, it will do. People
Fucking
like
stupid.
saw it, yeah.
What the fuck?
Ooh,
It blows
what?
my mind.
Who? What clip?
Bro, it's just fucking Time Profit harasses me.
Willie did a
Right.
clip with his helicopter.
Okay, this is what's going on. I'm sorry, guys. All right, so for the past
No
couple
Airwolf
of
theme,
weeks,
though.
Time Profit, right? As I'm flying helicopters live, right? Because that's kind of like it's therapeutic for me. I enjoy doing it, you know. He jumps on and fucking insults me and says that I fly a helicopter like a submarine and that here comes the crash and all that shit, right? For a fucking hour, he's doing this shit, right? And then he tells me, "Good night, don't crash," and then I crash, right? So I was so
That's just how it goes. Isn't
yeah,
it?
and this has been going on for a little bit now, right? And every time he's on there, and he'll send me a little message. Hey, how's that? If you look at my my Twitter feed, you just see a helicopter every once in a while, you know. And so I got, yeah. See, even he knows. This is not bullshit. Listen, people actually like to see like when is he gonna crash? And I was doing a video real quick, and I was about to crash, but I pulled it off, and I was like, man, I gotta post this just because of him. And
Right.
you know what? You know what? This little, I don't know, Time Prophet, you're great, but man, he
He's
posts
not
something.
on here. He's late.
He says he goes and he says in the comments, you should have done Rolling
He's not
Stone
even
because
there.
that's all you. He found everything. You should have shot Hellfire missiles. Next time, try to use your machine guns. You should have done Rolling Stones. I'm like, but I didn't even fucking crash, man. What do I have to do? You know, I got emotional. I called my psychiatrist. I was like, yo, this
What were you
fucking.
doing?
What was I doing? I was crying. And then as soon as I got done crying and my wife
Game
picked
was
me
it?
up from the fetal.
What game was it? What game was
Oh,
it?
Arma 3.
Though?
Anyways,
What
as
game
soon as
was
my
it?
wife picked me up from the fetal position, all she heard me saying was like, "Prophet, prophet,
Done
you
that.
fucking ass," right, crying and everything. And no, I decided to put the video to show him that yeah, I can make it, but yeah, he continues the harassment. I mean, it's all in fun, but yeah, I got to do another video now to just fill that need. But yeah, I crash a lot. All right, back to the stream. Go, go,
Yeah.
Wookie.
Back to this, yeah. And this one I think is probably going to be controversial to most or some, possibly. This is going to be. This is why this one's last, and I'm sure there's going to be some
gonna be
interesting
quick.
opinions on this. But here it goes: the Addams Family versus the Munsters.
Jesus.
Oh hell!
Ooh.
In a fight,
In a fight.
In a
then
fight.
I'm going to go with the Adamses just because they got more numbers and they got Thing and they got Cousin-It.
Gomez is
Okay.
pretty tasty with a sword.
My
Wednesday could probably off all of them.
Oh, easily.
Yes.
Before they even woke up. Before they even woke
Yeah.
up to walk out to the fight, the
So-
Wednesday.
She would kill them all in their sleep and they wouldn't even know,
No, they wouldn't.
and then blame it on Pugsley.
Of course.
Yeah, there you go. So, Gobby, what say you?
I have to agree. The Addams
Quite
family
right.
by far, absolutely by far, because
Really?
they're animals. They are so talented in the ways of death. It's going to be them easy, no problem at all. Game over. There
And
you go.
Willie, what do you think?
Willie's got technical difficulties at the moment.
Uh-oh.
It's
Technical
probably
difficulties.
crashed. It's probably crashed again.
Okay, Crual, what do you got? What do you think, Crual?
Me, well, it's been a long
Between
time
the
since
two.
I've seen the originals. The original, I watched the Addams Family movies not that long ago because I've got them both. I'd have to go with the Addams Family.
Okay. Well, I'll
Purely
tell
for
you why
reasons
you're all wrong.
that have been mentioned already.
You're all wrong because the Munsters own a
Okay, I'm
freaking
sitting down.
fire-breathing dragon. And Herman's already dead. And he's married to a vampiress who's got a father that's Dracula and a kid that's a wolf boy. So they're
That made me
monsters.
shit. That don't mean shit. That don't mean shit to the Addams family. They invite those people round for fun, to have a laugh. The Addams
Herman
family
would take
kill 'em.
out Lurch with no problem. He's
Exactly,
just too
just-
strong and too big.
Yeah, just unscrew those bolts and his head would fall off, and at the end of that fight, simple as that. I mean, it's all right. You got two vampires. They can only fight at night. They'll be shittier in the day. Whereas the Addams family can operate no matter what the weather or sunlight conditions.
Well,
It's-
now in the series, the Munsters, both Lily and Grandpa, did venture outside.
But they
In the
can't. They're
daylight.
vampires. They can't. They're vampires.
But they did.
No,
in the series, they did.
no, they're not light walkers. No, they're vampires for God's sake, man! Yeah. Can't change the rules just to fit a TV show.
I think Grandpa could take out both Uncle Fester and Grandmama.
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Although for some reason the Adams have an epiphany for playing with high explosives.
Well, there is this. And also, we all know that the Adams' house isn't exactly the easiest thing to break into either.
Right.
So, so I'm sorry, mate. I don't know what
The
shit yours
Munsters
might
own
be,
a
mate, but
freaking
you're wrong.
dragon. The Munsters own a dragon. It's over.
No, so
They six
means
spot
nothing.
on him. It's done.
means nothing. That means how many monsters they got a dragon and 5? Yeah, how many people are the Adams families in the films? Fucking hundreds of them. You
We're
never
talking
run
about
out.
the TV show against TV show, and they were
I
actually
don't
head to head
care.
in
I don't care.
broadcasting.
You're wrong. You're wrong. Two of them can't come out in the daytime.
And they had 2 Marylands to choose from. So then you got an added person there. So it's 2 different
No,
Marylands.
I don't care, mate. Two of them can't come out in the daylight.
And then-
It's ending.
And Herman's
It's
twin
ended.
brother. Herman's
don't
twin
care.
brother. Willie, which one do you think? Adam's Family or the Munsters?
Okay, so I was listening in. Who's on who? Who has who do you have, Wookie?
I've got the Munsters.
And I'm guessing Gobby has the Adams Family.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
all 3 of them's got Adams.
Okay. Shit, man. I gotta go with the Adams Family. And you know what? For one main reason for me, if I'm right, first of all, rest in peace, Little Wednesday. She freaking died recently.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, rest in
Rest in
peace.
peace.
everybody loves your little dance and everybody puts it on everything. But the thing, that's the hand, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Thing is a hand,
Okay.
cousin Ian's
That
the hairy.
that is their advantage, because if you look through the progression of any TV show, movie of the Addams Family, that's what saved them at all times. So if the Munsters can get a hold of that, I think that maybe they have more of a level playing field. That's their edge. And I mean, because they outnumber them, first of all. Okay. They outnumber them, and they're vampires. Let's not forget about that fact. So while they're resting during the daytime, you can go right there and fucking shank them with a stake, and they're done. Now you got to just pull the plugs on Herman Munster. Hell, the Addams Family doesn't even have to leave. He just goes there by himself, takes care of it tactically, and then comes back and high fives Uncle Fester. Mission accomplished.
Amen. Amen.
So I'm going with the Addams Family. Sorry, Wookie.
Fuck
You're on
all
your
you
own.
guys.
You're
Assholes.
on your own, sir. Why the Munsters? I'm trying to think what tactical advantage the Munsters
The
have
reason, and here's the thing. Yeah, okay.
besides
yeah.
crying and complaining.
Herman, the electrodes and stuff like that. But Herman is too strong. He's not dead. Okay. He could take out Lurch. He could take out Gomez. Yes, he could.
Take out
No, he couldn't.
Yes, he could. Now,
No.
Eddie is part vampire, werewolf, whatever. He's not necessarily human versus the other 2 kids. He could be faster. He could be more agile. I would give him that. Yeah, someone in the chat mentioned, well, he's too young. Okay, well, so is Wednesday in that show too. She's probably about the same age, maybe a year younger than Eddie.
She's
Okay,
better.
but still,
She's better. She's better. She's better
Now-
by far.
and
She would kick his ass. Don't care how fast he is. Don't care whether he's half werewolf, half vampire. Wednesday would kill him and he wouldn't even know it. It'd be all over. It'd be all over. Look at his arguments over a stupid
No.
fucking show.
I don't think so.
Look, back to the Doctor Who days. Let's just argue stupidly
I know,
over a
right?
fucking show.
Oh, my
Gobby's gonna end
God.
up going into the house. Fuck the Munsters.
Fuck them all.
Yeah, fuck them all. Fuck the monsters. There's no advantage. The monsters have absolutely no advantage.
The monsters
even
do have an advantage because
baby,
Grandpa and
even
Lily
the
can
ba-
both roam through the
the
daytime.
baby,
Canon in the series.
Go for it, girl.
One at a time, folks.
Go ahead,
even
girl.
the
Go
baby
ahead,
in
girl.
Adam's Family Values causes some damage.
Exactly.
Oh.
But we're not talking about the movies. We're talking about these two TV shows that
you're going now
were
specific.
head-to-head.
Yeah.
Oh, so now we're
These two TV
specific.
shows were actually on opposite networks, and they went ahead. They went against each other head to head in viewing and ratings and everything. So now, granted, they're both great shows, both great characters, but just for the sheer fact that if you look at the properties, okay, for all intents and purposes, the Addams Family, all of them are just regular humans with regular human flaws and vulnerabilities. Okay, yeah, they might be. They're all fucking psychopaths anyway. It doesn't matter, but you've got them versus actual monsters. Okay, and then there's Spot, who, yes, he was out of his house. He did get out of the basement.
Right in the die.
They had to wrangle Spot once, so
You know,
yes, you could get out of there.
there's only
You could
thing.
burn
There's
that
only one
freaking
thing.
Addams Family house down to the
There's
foundation
only
if you wanted to. Okay,
Wookie, there's only one thing we got to say about everything you just said. Okay, give me a second.
Can I?
what?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
I'm done.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well,
I got nothing else. So.
as I said, it would be controversial.
Mic drop.
Oh shit!
To see
Bunny, screw you!
that
Huh?
you were basing the logic on the five monsters. I was like, I'm thinking. I was watching John Carpenter's Vampires, which had a bunch of humans go up against monsters, and they won. So,
Yeah, but he went specific because now you know if you talk. Okay, so how many different monsters it's been? It's always just been the TV series, and then they got the Rob Zombie series. Am I right?
No, there was a reboot back. They tried to reboot it. I think it lasted 2
Monsters
seasons.
Today.
It had John Shook in it. John Shook played Herman, but it wasn't
Yeah, I
that
saw
great.
that.
It just, it was supposed to be the Monsters Today or something like that's what it was called.
The monsters
It
today,
didn't-
wasn't it?
Yeah, it didn't last long. Like maybe 2
Yeah.
seasons at best.
I saw some of that. Yeah.
Yeah, but the actor John Shook, who
think I
played
saw
the
that
Klingon
before.
ambassador in Star Trek, was Herman. So, but yeah, no, these
Oh,
these
wow.
two programs went literally head to head in viewing.
Sorry.
So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
what the hell? Oh, Mockingbird Lane. I don't know. Although Grandpa had the nice hot rods. Grandpa made the nice hot rods.
Hey, did the Addams Family even have a car?
I don't remember. I don't recall ever seeing one.
Yeah.
And
Well,
and I've actually watched them recently.
the movies they did, but
Movies they did, but yeah, not the TV. I never saw one in the TV show.
yeah,
Let's see.
So
Mm-hmm.
don't
I
know.
don't remember.
Dead air.
Hang on a second. Yeah, talk it up, Willie.
Why the fuck do I have to talk it up? What am I, your personal fucking monkey?
Come on now.
Dance,
Anyway.
Willie, dance.
God damn it! I don't want to do that. Anyways,
Come on.
no, I'm actually
Okay,
looking.
I'm
Oh shit, they
back.
did have a car. They had a 1933 Packard V12 featured throughout the 2 series. Hey, no shit. They had a nice car. You know, I think. Wait a minute.
Cool.
You know what's interesting that a lot of people would probably think that the car for the if this is the right one. It almost looks the same exact for the Munsters. Maybe it's a Mandela
Maybe.
effect. We were talking about Mandela effect. Fuck, man, my wife got me with this weird one the other day. Okay, you ready, guys? You ready? What does E.T.
I'm
say?
sitting down for this.
All right, ready? What does E.T. say in the movie, right? Does he say E.T. phone home?
No.
No.
What does he say in the
He says
movie?
phone
I think he
home.
just says phone home.
Oh, home.
No, he
just-
does not.
Oh, go on then. What does he say?
Go
Okay, if
home,
you look
or-
now, I told my wife bullshit on this one, right? And she
Yeah,
showed me, and it's a yes. It's kind of like yes and no. Okay, the first thing he says, he doesn't say phone home. He says home phone. Okay, and then the kids come in,
Oh yeah.
and I think it's the little girl. I forgot the actress's name.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Thank you very much.
Drew Barrymore.
She starts saying phone home, and the kids start saying phone home, and then E.T. to like replicate says phone home. So
He's right.
he actually says home phone.
No, you're right.
True.
That's like the whole Berenstain Bears thing. How
I
do you
haven't seen
spell
it in
it?
years, but you're right.
Yeah.
Well, like the Berenstain Bears, the books. You guys know the Berenstain Bear books or Berenstain?
Mhm.
How do you spell it?
Yeah.
No idea.
There's God damn it.
Don't know.
All this Mandela effect, I've been doing kind of like a dive on it because if you look at stuff, that
There you go. There you go. Right on there. Highlighted up. That's it. It's actually true. There you go.
Hang on.
It sounded
Hang on.
true.
Here we
Whoa,
go.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
There you go.
Whoa.
There you go. Says, ironically enough, the iconic phrase "E.T. phone home" isn't said by E.T. first. The actual phrase by E.T. is "E.T. home phone." It's Gertie who says "E.T. phone home," and then Elliot, and then E.T. repeats says it. There you go.
Nice.
So it's actually true. There you go.
I didn't not believe it.
Ah. No, I just. Hey, there we go. But get rid of that crap. Bye bye. There we go. So is that we run out of
Seen
things
E.T.
to
in
say now?
many
We
years,
run out of
but
slideshows.
No.
Is that the slideshow?
this is what you woke me up for.
Oh
God
my
damn it.
God.
Yeah, geez, is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Oh,
Oh, she
shit.
terrifies me with nuclear war.
That's
then
it?
gives me
Oh
just-
my goodness.
just an acting we're done. Wow.
Oh,
I know.
I wish the now that I sat through this for about almost an hour. God, I wish that
What the
bomb
hell?
really would have dropped. Oh,
Oh, hot.
Hell.
You gotta love
Oh,
Hogwarts Legacy,
talk
haven't you?
about
All
Hogwarts
these
Legacy.
bitching on about it, saying this is ban it because of it. It's one of the they succeeded in doing it. That's right. Put it at number one in
Someone
every
get off
single
the
gaming
screen.
chart ever. So that'll teach you for going, no, don't buy it because
Yeah.
it's time. No, it's not. You put it straight to number one. Thanks very much. My copy's on the way. There you
hey,
go.
I got a question for you guys. Let's have a little fun. You ready?
Yeah, go on then.
Curious
Ooh.
There
George.
you go.
Everybody know who's
Okay.
Curious George is, correct?
Yeah.
Monkey.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Does he
Yep,
have a
yep, yep,
tail?
yep.
Yes or
Yep.
no?
No. Doesn't have a tail.
He does not have a tail. That's correct.
No, because I think he's a chimpanzee.
No idea.
No, I just think
No,
the
no,
animators-
just because he doesn't have a fucking tail. What do you?
No, it's because animators were lazy. Don't need to animate a tail if you ain't got one. Don't give it a tail then. There you go. Problem solved.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Yeah.
Wait. Hold on. It's like you fucking chimpanzee.
He doesn't
No,
have
he's
a
not
tail,
believe
he's a
it.
chimpanzee.
I think it was a chimp kind of they fashioned it after the chimp with no tail.
Do you think he was ever sexually abused by the guy with the hat? Just putting it out there.
Bro, they,
Controversy.
so what they say is that the it's not like a what did they say about the monkey? So I guess the wife died or something, and it was the monkey that they got, and they allow the monkey to run around and do its thing because it helps with the husband's trauma of losing his wife. So that's why they allow the monkey to go all over the place. Now, some people say that it's in his head, that it's just he's dealing with something because I mean he can understand the monkey, or or they say that it's his kid. That's what it is. It's his kid, right? It's his kid and his. That's what I heard. Okay, so the guy with the yellow hat and his wife had a kid. The wife died. The yellow hat is the wife's hat. They were in safari, and the only thing they have left is the kid. But the last thing he saw was a monkey, so that's why he looks as a monkey, because that's how he deals with trauma. He can't accept the fact that it was just his son that survived. So everybody just plays along with the illusion that it's a monkey when in fact it's a kid. So yeah, that's it.
That's really grim.
Yeah,
It's
thanks for that.
it's
Jesus.
well.
That's it.
Well, you're
It's
the
a
one with
kid?
you're the one with the fucking monsters are gonna
The
win. What
hell?
kind of bullshit is that? You know?
Wow, it took the depression on the stick.
Yeah,
Jesus
fucking talk
Christ.
about something. Let me see. Something that took a little bit of creativity, or the fucking monsters are gonna win because they were on season 1 and 2. Yeah. That's bullshit, man. I know. I'm
Nuclear
still
explosions, PTSD,
You
depression.
ever see Herman Munster pissed off and take down half of a building? Come on now.
they fucking disconnecting my.
Oh shit! What?
Yeah, it's just like we're just
Be careful over there, Panda Bear.
You didn't have a childhood.
Oh, that's just.
I'm sorry,
Anyway.
telepathic bunny. You didn't
That's
have a
just
childhood. You were created in a lab. Your doctors are called mommy and daddy are called doctor. Where's my fucking head thing? I shaved my head today too. I look fucking sexy. Ugh.
Oh, fucking hell, I need my sunglasses. Hold on a minute.
How does this work again?
There we go. There we go.
Oh, there he is. I
Cool,
heard
Jack.
somebody. Hey, what I was gonna ask you. Hey, why is it that you wear the glasses that they don't have? You just got bored one day?
What?
The glasses.
What, these?
Who's
Yeah.
glasses?
No, the black ones.
What, these?
Yeah.
I just got bored one day. I just thought I'd put them on.
Man, I know how that goes.
You know what I mean? It's just it's the way I roll. It's the way I roll. Just,
Holy
yeah.
shit! Hey, Gobby,
Yeah.
who was the gentleman that was on your stream with John the White and yourself? Not
Ian.
not the. Yes. Yeah.
Ian. Right.
Yeah.
The backstory to Ian foremost, he's a record producer. That's what he does. Yeah, he's very responsible for the Northern Soul up here in the UK. He's also a massive Doctor Who fan, and it was him who spearheaded and, with his own cash, bought a lot of the lost episodes of Doctor Who off private collectors. So a lot of the stuff that we got back, the missing episodes, are because of him. He also is massively, was massively involved with Doctor Who during the Nathan Turner era. So he knows a huge amount of classic Who. And he can actually quote William Hartnell's entire all of the episode of William Hartnell by heart. He's that much of a Doctor Who fan. So there you go. And he doesn't talk to people very often. So unfortunately, though, of course, because of that, because he spoke to me and John, he's had nothing but a load of shit thrown at him. So such is the way things. So there may have been another one coming, but because of dickheads, they've ruined that for us. So thanks for that. There you go. So that's who Ian was. He was fascinating man. Fascinating man. He knows so much about Doctor Who. It's painful. Absolutely painful. But there you go. You know, you can't. That's why we can't have good things, because people have to ruin everything. So, which is a shame, because I mean that stream could have gone on for 4 hours easily. It's only because mainly because we've got to watch out, obviously because of John's health, that we needed to sort of bring it to an end when we did, because obviously John can't go for that for a certain length of time before it starts to suffer. So, but there you go. So that's who Ian was, and it was a fascinating chat. I mean, we were in the, I think it was about 45 minutes before the stream come on, just talking about Doctor Who. It was I learned so much, but we could have had another one, but that's gone now. So thank you to all those selfish arseholes who've ruined it for everybody else. There you go. But it's gone over 2,000 views. So, but then again, that's because I'm what was it? racist, far right, homophobic, transphobic bigot, apparently. So there you go.
That sounds
Bro,
like a
you don't
full-time
like
job.
you don't like the Transformers? What kind of weirdo
No,
are you?
I hate the Transformers. That's that annoying noise. Just my head. No, but yeah, that's and they gave, because obviously Ian is Jewish and gay. People use that as an opportunity to have a go at him about that again, and he's took a load of flack over it. So he's not going to come anywhere near me and John again. Although we are talking, but it's just like why people have to ruin everything just because, well, reasons. I just don't know. I really don't.
I have a serious question. How are you dealing with this shit? Like, I mean, all week I've kind of been keeping an eye on Twitter. Just there's been a lot of this online kind of like let's just put it out there, bullying. A ton of it. I mean, with your situation, holy shit! I've never seen anything like that, and because I try to keep myself out of those situations, and I saw that, and I was like, this is weird because I know you. Or I feel I know you, and I was like, this is not this man,
Nope.
And you get to a point where you're like, should I say something? Do I stand up for this person? For two reasons, because you're putting your own reputation on the line, especially with a group of individuals that stream. I like to joke around. I like to kid. I like to have fun, but you still have a reputation that you have to, people may say, hey, you know what? WillyP jokes around, but he's a good person. And that's how I want to be remembered as. And so when I saw that, it bothered me. And I'm like, should I say something? Is he the type of person that I can defend and know that later on, this will not bite me in the ass? And I decided to do it because it was important. It was important for me. Because I'm like, I believe that if somebody would attack me the same way, the same people would have my support and back,
100%.
And I think that's one of the things that I saw, and I learned that in this world, it's so easy to be attacked, and it's so quick for these people to just gang up on you, and the root of your followers, they'll back you. You know what I mean? And that's when you really see the people that care about you and are concerned of what's going on. Your true, what I believe, your true inner circle. The people that if anything ever happens. And that was a good lesson. I watched it and I told myself, I hope I never have to go through this.
It's
again. It's insane.
I mean, the main guy who did it, who started it all off, first made sure he blocked us all before he did anything. So I couldn't directly respond. Unfortunately for him, I know people, and several of the other people know people. It didn't take us long to figure out where he lives, his actual name, his actual age. So I just said, next time you do it, mate, I'll come knock your door. Apparently that's me doxing him. I said, no, I'm not going to tell anyone where you are. All this information is freely available on the internet. So before you start throwing slurs and insults, which, may I hasten to add, did actually 2 messages have now had to be sent to the police because I've had 2 direct death threats against me for being a transphobic bigot and threatening my family and that. So, and it's, well, this is how it goes because people can't think for themselves. They have to just jump on a bandwagon because it feels like that. And they think they're big and funny and clever sitting behind a keyboard, not thinking that people can be found. And it annoys me because we're just trying to have fun. The series I'm doing with John, somebody said, no, you shouldn't be associated with John. I said, the man is dying. You know what I mean? He's dying. He's not going to be here for very much longer. He said to me, can we do a series on Doctor Who? What, you really think I'm going to turn a mate's dying wish down? You may do because you're a fucking coward, but I don't. And I do it because of my mate. And that's all we're doing it for. Not doing it for anything else. I'm doing it because he's actually said. That's why if you watch the videos, I don't actually say a lot because they're his. Because it's his legacy. This is what he wants left for when he's no longer here. And then you get these fucking arseholes digging their nails, just saying anything with no evidence. They don't know who I am. They have no idea about my background. They have no idea about my history. They literally know nothing of the things I've been and done, and it just really annoys me that people can make snap decisions because some of the dickhead who first blocked everybody before he started throwing his insults said so. And it's just,
Somebody
It's,
certainly got a hate boner in for you, Gobby. I mean, that all
Oh,
started
yeah.
back when with your original PFP.
Yep, exactly.
So,
They've just
so
started. I've
yeah,
wound
somebody's
somebody up.
definitely got it in for you.
Oh yeah, someone's gunning for me big time. But the problem is, which I've said it on fair warning. I'm not the kind of guy who will just sit there and not take it. If I find out where you are and you want to carry on, you can come and say, I will go and let you say it to my face. I will stand on your doorstep and see what you've got to say, because I don't give a shit. I genuinely don't give a shit. You know, and when I have a couple of them threatening my family, don't ever threaten my family, because I will come for you. I will find you and I will hunt you down and kill you like the dog that you are, because it pisses me off. Don't sit there giving it the old tippy tappy on the keyboard and think you're clever, because you're not. And it's time for this shit to stop. I mean, we've had it where we've had crap when I was talking to Sophia Miles. You know what I mean? And it's like, why? It's just two people having it. I'm trying to just enjoy things, and why you have to drag it down, I really don't know. But if I'm winding people up, I'm winding people up. I don't give a shit. I genuinely don't give a shit. I have my principles. I've never insulted anyone. I've never been racist. I've never been transphobic. I've definitely not been homophobic. For God's sake, half my friends on Twitter are gay, and you know what I mean? But you know what I mean? It's because it annoys me. The day it happened, it really annoyed me, because I've spent a lot of time being a combat medic. I don't care about the color of your skin. I don't care about your religion, your gender, whatever you want to call yourself, as long as you're happy. I don't give a shit. Just leave people alone. People do not have to agree with you. We don't have to agree with you. If you want to call yourself a pronoun, do it. I don't give a shit, and I'll never use it. But if that makes you happy, fine. Crack on. I don't care. I don't judge anybody other than the human being that stood in front of me, and whether or not you're being a twat. You want to be a twat? I'm going to treat you like a twat. You're a nice human being with decent respect. I'll do the same back. I've no grief against anyone. I just want to get through the rest of my life without, and it just makes my blood boil. It really annoys me. It destroys people trying to just do something good and just going, look, we like this, and you're not allowed to do that. It just makes my blood boil. Stupid, pathetic little children. Little children. They are kiddie little. Because you would.
Well,
it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I mean,
what's the end game then? What's the end game for these people? I mean, is it to get you to a point where is it the attention towards them? I mean, so let's go here. So let's just say that at what point can you stop this? Let's just say that okay, so I'm gonna tell you the way I see it. Someone accuses me of being a racist, a bigot, all these things. You know what I mean? I don't care. I do not care. I personally, I don't even acknowledge it. If somebody sends me something, hey, somebody said something about you, I don't care, because everyone that's in my circle knows who I am. And if you want to leave that circle, you weren't good enough to be in it anyways. Because I don't give a shit about anybody else, because in my life I see myself as the most important, and I want important people in my circle. Because if I don't see myself as important with this silly fucking hat on my head, no one else is gonna, see that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, I believe that there's a way to nip this shit somewhere, and we all decide where that is. What point do we tell do we just? I guess these are the decisions. Do we continue talking to these people and continue pushing, this is not who I am? I mean, who are we telling this shit to?
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? Who are we telling? Because people know who we are, As far as your situation, you were put in, and I don't understand how that happened, because again, like I said before, I was only speaking of you. Now, John the Lion, am I correct? That's what his name is?
Yeah, John the White.
Right. John the White. Let the man do his fucking thing and leave him alone. He's dying. Have a heart. 1, 2. I haven't seen a single thing of this man. Show me something and I will side with you. I will stand next to you and agree with you that these men are racist or whatever you say they are. Show me something, and I will stand by your side. If you don't show me something, shut the fuck up and disappear.
Yep.
You know, but we got to start dealing with this shit somehow because it's happening more and
absolutely.
more, and
Can't
people are
produce anything,
forgetting.
just
People have forgotten how it feels to get punched in the fucking face.
That's the problem.
You know,
That's the problem.
and the lack of respect to somebody. You know, you look at us on the streams and stuff. You never think that there's a possibility that somebody might show up. You know, that's always a possibility.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
And yeah, fuck it. Yeah, I'll get on a rant on this, but yeah, I
Yeah,
really feel for you,
I
Gobby.
was gonna
I really
say-
do, man.
It's the way it is. Go on,
I was
Crual.
gonna say that, you know, obviously everybody is entitled to their opinions and their own beliefs and so on. If, like you say, if people want to identify as a yellow sponge and use pronouns and whatever, yeah, fine, okay.
Yeah,
But
fine. Yeah,
is to have these. What it needs is to have this bashed or sort of crammed down our throat. You know, we are not obligated to thereby justify their own delusions.
Yep.
You know,
it's true. It's true. It's true.
we're not.
But the best thing is,
We have
actually-
to accept. We have to accept that they have their beliefs, but thereby, I don't see them accept the fact that we have ours.
yeah, exactly.
You know, it goes both ways.
But the best thing is, these people are being offended on behalf of somebody else who isn't being offended, and I never understand that.
Yeah, it's always the same, isn't it? Did you see that? Did you see that? Bryan Cranston wants critical race theory in schools now.
Why?
Why?
He's white. How does that even work? Yeah,
It's just.
I give up.
I think Ricky Gervais does it best. I really do. You know, how arrogant do you have to be to believe that you've been offended and to live your life that no one can do anything that offends you? That's just sheer arrogance. You're not that important because you're not that important. And the thing is, I know, you know, as I've said before, I'm nothing. We're all nothing. We're all just trying to get along, trying to get through our life to the end of whenever it is. You know, enjoying it as best we can. And it's hard to do that because the world is a terrible place. And that's all we want to do. And a lot of us, we just want to be left alone. We just want to get on with our lives and be left alone. And, you know, have a chat now and again with, I mean, let's be honest, this is very much akin to the old days where we all used to go down. Hello, T-Bunny. When we all used to go down.
Really? Fuck.
How we used to
go
go
down the pub and have a pint.
Welcome to Fresh Hell.
And yeah, this is what this is. This is 6 people now sitting around a table in a pub, for all intents and purposes. And in a pub, if you spoke like you speak on the internet to somebody, you're on the floor. Someone's going to twat the living daylights out of you. They really are.
Well, anybody in this pub, anybody gets in this pub now. Wow, I thought there was like, yeah, whatever.
Well, the interesting thing though is when you look at what they're actually offended by, they're offended by the fact that they knew who that they set up, you know, the with the Jodie Whittaker or whatever, wasn't well received, and so what happened was they don't have a case to stand on with that because it's shitty writing, it's shitty acting. There's no redeeming qualities to it whatsoever. There's like one actor that's worth watching on it, and they just, you know, beat him up the whole entire series till he quit. Okay, and so anybody that tries to say that, look at this legacy, look at all these years that of quality television we had. I mean, look at the Tom Baker era, which is like considered the pinnacle of 70s sci-fi. You know, I watched it when I was a little kid. You know, I had a K9 poster on my wall. You know, I loved K9. You know, and so what they're trying. So there's like, and when you look at the numerically, there's just a few people there's a few people that are like they're the attack dogs basically, and what they do is they come in,
Release
when
the
anybody
hounds.
says when anybody tells the truth about it, okay, they come in and start spraying racism, misogyny, homophobic, everywhere that they can, just spray,
Yeah.
spray,
Yes, of course.
obscure the lens so people don't actually watch it and make a determination on the quality of it, because the quality is shit.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely right,
The
absolutely
Timeless Child destroyed the legacy of Doctor Who. It
did.
destroyed it. Okay, utterly,
I never saw
completely.
it.
There's no coming back
I
from
never saw
Timeless
it, so-
Child. And so what they're trying to do is they're just whitewashing everything with homophobic this,
Indeed.
racist that, and all this other stuff, because that's the reason why they do this woke casting is so they have ability to remove quality from part of the formula. You have to support it. You have to, or you're these things.
Yep, that's exactly
And-
it. Exactly
A
it.
hero, a legend,
Elation.
the goat, the greatest of all time. Nah, man, you
Right.
gotta,
It doesn't
you gotta
matter. It doesn't
stand
matter.
out. This
I
is
mean,
when it's good
Douglas
to be there.
Adams wrote for Doctor Who, man. Douglas freaking Adams, man.
Yep.
The smartest science fiction writer of all time. Those books are, you read those books to today and they just blow your mind,
Yep.
And he wrote for Doctor Who. Okay.
Exactly. Absolutely. But
But-
hey, it's the way it is. It's the way it is. You just to me. Although I mean, at the time when I read it at that particular moment in time, I'd had a really bad shift at work, and the timing was lousy. So, but after that, it just water off the duck. I water off my duck's back. To be fair, but there, it's the way it goes. It is the way it is. It's the way of social media. Unfortunately, we just have to roll
They
with
just
it.
keep talking. They just keep making. They keep making. The transphobia and homophobia and racism and sexism. They keep making these things irrelevant.
Yeah.
Back the
To
power
the
out
point
word.
that actual racism and sexism it's just kind of like ignored because
Exactly.
Because-
They take the
Well,
power
well,
out.
Yeah.
they deem
well, one thing I've started
they
doing,
just
and
wore
this has
these
been
things out.
this has
Oh,
been
you don't
really
like-
effective.
Oh, you don't
But,
like the new Star Wars films? You're sexy.
Right. Exactly.
Sorry.
But one thing I started doing is I started like not taking the bait. When I interact with these people, all I do is I take them straight back to the truth. Like Heather Ontos and I had a little tussle. Okay. I just, for my own amusement, I did this, but she was like saying that, oh, you guys don't like women in comics. So I started like saying, listing all my favorite writers and, Wheezy Samuelson, and some of those people like that. And I love these writers. And she's like, well, that's not who I was talking about. And I was like, wait a second. And I saw the poster of a comic book that came out under her watch while she was a editor at IDW. And it's Arpel O'Neill. Okay. It's a cover. It's like, it's really simplistic. Looks like a emoticon basically on the cover. And this was put out by a major comic book company. And it's supposed to be April O'Neil. And it's misspelled Arpel O'Neill. Okay. And I was like, wait, isn't an editor supposed to catch this? And she's like, oh, that I wasn't on that. And I was like, so your fellow editors, so your fellow editors missed it, And I was like, wait a second, you were hired in
fault.
like
Yeah,
6 months
yeah.
before this.
His
And,
fault.
oh, by the
Their
way, the
fault.
cover looks exactly like you. You had the same
Wow.
smirk and everything. And she
Unbelievable.
blocked me. She blocked me because
Oh, that's the favourite one, isn't it? The block.
yeah.
Here's some
Because
truth.
they know
blocks.
there's no counter argument
you're
that they
getting
can give you.
blocked.
So as long as they're the only conversation in the room,
It's unbelievable.
Right.
It really is. It's a mad mess. It's a mad mess.
It sucks, but there's people out there that are fighting back too.
Oh yeah.
And it's becoming more apparent that there are factions.
they're minority.
For
They're an actual minority.
And they're small. They're a fraction of the good people that are out there. You know, they're by far and away, social media is full of good people. And
Yep.
but the thing is, it's just like anything else. He who screams the loudest is going to get hurt. And these people are professionals at making scenes and screaming, etc. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of good people out there that are getting basically abused for no other reason that it gets the screamers, it gets them off.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really care what happens to you or if you've done anything wrong or not. They just get off on the, you know, on the endorphins.
And they
of
have
trying
nothing
to
else in
ruin
their life,
somebody.
and they have nothing else better to do.
Exactly.
but the-
nothing,
you know-
they have no
They
future
got a shitty life and
prospects.
they're sitting somewhere in a basement in the dark.
Yeah.
You know.
So
Yeah, but
I just started pointing it out. I'm like, oh, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
You know, okay. Well, say hello to your cat. You know.
Yeah, but you know, I think one of the biggest issues that we're not looking at. Hey, Mr. Brown, how's it going?
Hi, Mr. Brown.
But you know, one of the issues I see is like, you know, we are all talking about the
Hello,
bully,
Mr.
the bully,
Brown.
the bully. We're not thinking about the instigator.
Brown.
We have to look at the instigator because the instigator is the problem, not the bully. Because anybody can be a bully. We can
That's what they are.
make
Bullies
the
and
bully.
antagonizers. That's
Right, we can make the bully, but we need to find who the antagonist is. That's the core. Because you have a lot of people on Twitter, Facebook, everywhere you want to go, right? If you look at the of how they're being bullied, look at the instigator. And you see why. There's always somebody out there that's going to instigate this shit because that's how they get their kicks. Why?
We
Because
pay
they don't
attention
want
to
to be
the dog
bully.
pile. We don't take attention to the person that said sick them.
Exactly. And a lot of times, you know, we're you know, more reactive than proactive and you know, seeing what started this shit. And if I can mute it right there and stop it right there, does this trigger a bully? You know, so if I hit the instigator first, the bully wouldn't exist. Now, this is just my little theory on like dealing with these people. If I'm seeing somebody call me a racist, where did they get that from? Let's find the instigator, not the bully. But oh, god damn it, really? It's glowing.
Your favorite troll is back. Your
Every
favorite
single
troll is
goddamn
back.
time I get into a point, this shit happens. God damn it.
There you go. There you go.
Let's tell it to
Hello.
Bro, my kid would be going insane right now. He loves, you know, they love the Teletubbies, man.
Everybody loves Teletubbies. Everybody loves Teletubbies.
All he needs is this red purse. That's all he needs. Yeah.
Oh,
There you go.
oh, wait, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, dear, man.
shit.
Well, I went ahead and subbed to your channel, Gobby guy. I
thanks, man.
honestly didn't
Much
know.
appreciated.
So.
Wait a minute, you subbed to his? You
I'm
haven't
interested.
subbed to mine yet? Bro.
I've already subbed to yours.
Did you?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I did it the other day when I watched you crash your copter. Like
shut
30
up! Oh my
times.
god, I didn't crash it 30 times.
It's flying
You know,
submarine.
I was
Can't
trying
escape
to.
that one.
I was.
You crashed it so often that I'm like, does it actually fly, or is it just like it's bouncing off the ground?
Holy shit! I'm having issues.
Technical difficulty. His finger is stuck.
Okay,
Wait,
letting crash.
If you fly
Wait,
around
let's-
the trees,
let's,
the copter blades don't.
And you know what's
snap
the crazy
off.
part about it is
From,
nobody gives a
from
shit
our
about the
sponsor.
accomplishments.
So,
No,
word from
don't give a shit about them.
There was like, you see how many times this asshole crashed? Nobody's like, man, that looks pretty difficult to do. Nope.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. It's because you crashed. No one gives a shit, mate. No one gives a shit.
Mm-mm.
Oh god, he keeps crashing. Flying submarine.
What's bugging you, Jess?
I love this. I'm
Sorry,
having
I'm trying to
technical
move.
difficulties
So
too.
what's the
What the
problem?
hell?
That vibration's
Uh,
bad.
That's sweet. I got a lead singer who comes on like I'm Mr. Bad Breath.
Look, Davis, you want me to tell it like it is? Try this.
Ah, Listerine, the old germ kill routine.
Don't knock it unless you've got something better, man.
Remember, folks, Listerine antiseptic kills germs that can cause bad breath.
You say it's strong?
It's gotta be strong.
To last long.
Okay, fellas, no more commercials.
You play the star, you really grew all the sweet, sweet promise of you. Good vibrations, Jen?
Great vibrations, David.
With a little help from Listerine Antiseptic. Kills germs, lasts for hours.
Okay, so this is what happened, right? I guarantee you, once she left, they all took the
was Stephen
Listerine,
McNally.
they got off their stuff, and they went into a little circle and had fun with one another.
Women don't scream like that for a woman-fronted group. I'm sorry.
Well, what the fuck was that? That made absolutely no sense. There's like no fucking context. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Are you saying we got fucking bad breath or something? I mean, are you telling us that our mouths smell like shit? What the fuck is going on here? First is the monsters. Monsters.
Yeah, you
monster. Yeah, now we got bad breath.
Yeah.
Bro, you're attacking the freaking UK people. That's just a stereotype, bro. They don't have bad breath.
What?
No,
that's a stereotype.
Absolutely not.
You fucking
bad teeth. No.
I can't believe so. I think we found an online bully right now. Wookie, we need to talk.
Oh, come on now.
So now we got bad breath and shit. Everything comes
out. Ticking bomb means trouble for Batman and Robin.
Holy, breaking and entering. It's Batgirl.
Quick, Batgirl. Untie us before it's too late.
It's already too late. I've worked for you a long time, and I'm paid less than Robin. Same job, same employer means equal pay for men and women.
No time for jokes, Batgirl.
It's no joke. It's the federal equal pay law.
Holy act of Congress.
If you're not getting equal pay, contact the Wage and Hour Division, U.S. Department of Labor.
Wait, she's getting paid?
What? I know.
Now I'm wondering if she makes a bad omelet, a good bad omelet. That's what I'm wondering.
Well, she doesn't make that omelet, she'll get a shiner. It's the 50s, my friend.
Seriously.
Yeah, Batgirl's gonna get a shiner.
Make a sandwich, Batgirl.
Make the sandwich.
Are we gonna? Is any of us gonna talk about the fact that if she continued what she was gonna do, she would have blown them all up?
Yeah, I know. Jeez. Give me my equal pay, or we're gonna blow up, motherfucker.
Yeah, let me mess with the timing mechanism. Yay!
Gobby, where did you find this? Wookie, where did you find this stuff? What were you having last night? Bourbon?
Internet archives.
Oh.
Internet archives.
It's been smoked.
And besides that PSA with Batgirl and Batman and Robin, that's actually Yvonne Craig, Adam West, and
it's actually them. Yeah.
Yeah,
you could tell Adam West was not happy to be there.
No.
That's the flattest line reading I've ever seen him give.
Yeah,
and that's saying something.
And Dick Ward's always an overactor anyway.
Hey, Batgirl. Well, please save us.
Yeah.
Wait.
Dude, I'll tell you what. That was made in '73, and I think that series ended in 68. I think it ended in '68.
I don't know. I was still in my dad's. Ooh. Hello, young lady. Oh, God, talk about timing. God damn it, Gobby. Ooh, buddy. Hey, senorita. Ooh, man, did you come in at a good time? God.
Hello, little lady.
Hey, little lady.
Hello.
It's my youngest, little Lexi. Say hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi there.
Right then. I'm coming in a second. Yeah, I love you too.
Oh, God. Wow. I wish my dad would love me.
All I want to know is how the hell did she get out the basement? I mean,
hey, Paul 13, why don't you have your kid come in and say hi? Oh,
which one? Hold on, where's that little shit?
Which one?
Because somebody needs to fucking rake the yard. He's one, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, get working.
Yeah, Vonda Craig is actually like grown a little bit, so just saying.
Hold on a second.
She was filling it out a little bit more.
Melvin said not to read his last comment out, which he said his breath smells like vagina. Not wrong with that. That's the one I'm not supposed to read out. My breath smells like a vagina. Not wrong with that. One more. No, it's
one more.
That one.
Back up. One more.
Melvin,
Back up. One more.
Please. Yeah, one more. It says, please do not read out my last comment. My breath smells like a vagina. Not wrong with that. There you go. I promise never to read that out. Did I say that?
We didn't read it.
Sorry.
We didn't read it, Melvin.
No.
There you go.
No.
Ah, you tell us not to read one, we won't read it. There you go.
No, we won't read it. We promise
right.
never to read it.
No, don't read it, but we did. So right there. Hey, Time Profit.
Didn't read that.
I don't know what you're seeing, but my logo is not that. So try again. Troll.
Go away, Time Prophet. We're not crashing helicopters here, are we?
No.
Yeah, we're
No,
not crashing
well,
helicopters.
Yeah, that's
No.
because File 13's not flying one. So, yeah.
Oh, there we go. We're right. The door's open.
Did you lock it? No, the door's open. Okay, good.
No,
There
I'm
you go.
okay. I'm okay.
Oh,
Okay. Still got to get that.
The dirt closet is still intact. There you go.
Yes.
Hey,
There you
I
go.
heard that, by the way, T Bunny. I heard that.
oh. Anyway,
Hold on. I got my other kid, so I gotta. You guys haven't seen my little one in a while. Hold on, because I got the other one doing piano lessons.
Oh,
So,
no.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. There you
Hold
go. There
on
you
a
go.
second.
There you go.
my little taco right
There you
Wait.
go.
Hey!
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hey!
All right.
Look, Daddy Teletubby!
It's a small file.
Hey.
That's hair. There you go.
It's a
Hello.
small file.
Yeah, this is
Enjoy that hair while you can, young man.
bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rude.
Exactly.
Bro, I got
He's gonna-
he's gonna lose it all, man.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What do you
he's
think,
sitting there
bud?
thinking, looking
What
up,
do you think,
going,
buddy?
That actually,
Never
no,
gonna-
it's passed down from the mother.
What do you think, bud? Bro, mom
Yeah,
got
mother's
good
side.
genes. Mom got
there you
good
go.
genes. Daddy might be a mess, but mama got good genes. So,
Well, on the positive, it's a cute kid, and on the negative, he's File 13 is breeding. So there you go.
yeah. Hey, you know what? I gotta laugh. I can't even say anything. You motherfucker. It's so true because it's true. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, there you go.
I even had somebody the other day who was like, "Wow, you're still having kids? Fuck." Oh, shit.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh, you fucking asshole. Oh, that was so good.
Bring your child to the stream day. Okay.
There you go.
There you
There you
go.
go. Unfortunately,
Yeah,
my
I
little
know,
blind Dotson.
I know, buddy. They're all full of shit. I know.
Yeah. Well,
buddy.
yeah.
Oh, Time Profit. You missed that one from Time Profit. There you go.
What is it?
Thing ain't working. Yeah, I'm having a little issue here with
Bro,
this.
I'm going after this stream is done. I'm
Computerized
immediately
stuff.
going live. Immediately. Fucking helicopter and Rolling Stones, you fucking notice how not a
Just
single
like a
one of
break.
you
There you go.
in the squares has defended me once, but like, you know what? He's not that bad. No, every
Oh.
single that motherfucker crashes all the time. He's always hitting and shit. Yeah, oh my god. You know, you want
It's the lowest common denominator. That's what you always default to. Lowest
Hey,
common
can you let go of my
denominator.
mic, boy? Let go of Daddy's mic. Come on. Let go of the. There you go.
Oh,
Thank you,
there
sir.
you go.
Yeah, here you go. You ready? Catch him.
Oh, that's kid toss. There you go. Melvin Deeply, that last little comment there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, indeed.
Bro.
Yeah, well, you also are what you eat. So there you go.
Listerine.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm.
Anyway.
All right. So what's up?
Listerine.
And chimpanzees do have tails.
Yeah. No, they don't.
Motherfucker. God damn it.
Am I breath- hold on. Am I smelling my breath or my fingers? I don't know.
Well,
Shit.
Hey, I've got bad halitosis, so but nobody cares. I'm in my own room.
No,
Hey, I'm just kind of curious. Oh, hey,
check the dipstick, Gobby.
what's up with Luke and the like the GoFundMe stuff? I wanted to ask you about that. What's the process? What's the progress on that?
Oh,
as far as his whole setup.
well, what happened was.
Or can you talk about that? Because I don't think like Crual or Gobby have heard about
right.
this thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened was they told him basically that they had all these plugins ready to go. And
so what is he doing first of all? Because I don't think these guys know what he's doing. So.
Okay, Fund My Comic is going to be a Indiegogo, Kickstarter, crowdfunder. It's going to be a direct challenge to those guys. It's going to be an actual platform for people to fund their comic and their game or their game through. It's going to be exclusively for that. It's also the terms of service basically are, as long as you're not breaking the law, go for it. Okay, it's gonna be a free speech platform, and it's gonna be like in the terms of service, basically. Free speech is built into the terms of service, and the banks are aware of that. That was part of the negotiation to clear that up, clear that error. Took a while for the lawyers, and then after, as soon as that was done, they were told the technical end was solid. So all they needed to do was get that done with the lawyers and everybody. So they're waiting on that. Well, okay, that's settled. And but when they went to turn it on, Serendum, the company that is working on this, discovered that a lot of their plugins were not acting correctly. And so they basically had to rewrite the whole entire backbone of the system. And but they'd already said that they were going to have it out by early January. So so what they're doing right now is they're like basically they're going back, and all those plugins that they had already available, they're having to like rewrite them and integrate them. So that's going to take a little while to get that done. Meanwhile, Luke, who funded this thing.
Oh, hold that thought real quick, T Bunny. Sure. Z's got to have to take off on us here.
He's okay. Shit, Z.
A mission complete.
As I said, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go.
All right. See you.
You have to go.
See you, Z.
Oh man.
Well, I'll see you all later, any case. So
everybody's taking off.
Yeah, I've got to go. So it's been a privilege.
You gotta go.
Yeah,
I gotta go.
Thank you for coming on, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, guys. Thanks, Z.
All right.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye.
Good to see you.
All right.
Cool.
But anyway, so that's up in the air. But he's not been able to really deal with it.
Thanks.
Because somebody who told him that he had what's that? Oh, anyway, he can't deal with that because he got kicked out of his house. Basically, they being out of the kindness of his heart, he donated their parsonage once his church like shut its doors. So he was a pastor of, and he's donated the parsonage to a friend of his. Okay, and suddenly, because of the influx of people from up north escaping, the hellscapes that are the big cities up north, this property value shot through the roof, and so suddenly the church had to sell it. Had to sell it, right? And so they basically told him, "Oh, we're evicting you. We already sent you."
You're such an asshole. Oh,
yeah,
not you. Oh, sorry.
Right. No problem.
I'm reading the chat. I was reading the chat. And I looked what fucking Time Prophet said, and I'm like, "You're such an asshole." I'm sorry. Continue. Go ahead.
No problem.
I was thinking out loud is what I was doing. I was looking at it and thinking out loud, like, "What an asshole."
That's fine.
Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
So yeah, he's currently moving his family and everything to Indiana. So right in the middle of this, he's dealing with that. So that's what the GoFundMe was for. Is for moving cost. But Fund My Comic is coming. It's just going to be delayed. They gave him. They were too ambitious with their with their launch date. They were really way too ambitious, and so now everybody's like, "Oh, wait a second, you said it was going to launch," but it's just like this is typical technology. Anytime you set up a website or anything like that, there's always delays, always, and this is just what that is. And it's gonna eventually it's going to be turned on, and it's going to be viable, and it's going to be a way better alternative than Indiegogo and Kickstarter. And but you know, it's just got to go through the usual process that every website in history has ever gone through. You know, no website has ever been turned on perfect, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to turn it on and it be functional from day one. And so because of that, they're not throwing a subpar product out like Microsoft and then having everybody debug it for them, you know. So, you know, that's where we're at anyway.
Right.
Okay.
But once that gets turned on and it's
because
available,
I've been talking it up amongst.
So once it gets turned on and it's available, it's going to take over the crowdfunding space, I believe. I honestly think so. But you just got to get to that point.
I hope so. Yeah, because there's a lot of smaller creators out there that, you know, would love to be able to go through a dedicated type system, you know, or a dedicated site. Whereas like you got Kickstarter, Indiegogo, they're basically looking at the larger return type things like technology and things like that, where they're looking at raising, you know, millions of dollars versus a few thousand, you know, and so their percentage return that they're going to get is going to be bigger on something like a computer system versus somebody's book, and which kind of sucks, but from the other spectrum, it kind of makes sense. But it's just in how they've been treating the creators that are using their platforms. They're treating them like, you know, third-class citizens instead of actual customers. Oh, Willie crashed.
This is my baby.
Oh, a Doxy. Nice.
Yeah. This is Rosie.
Hello.
Rosie the Wonder Dog. So
good old Rosie. Nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
just like a 2-year-old child. Oh man,
she wandered in, so I had to show her off a little bit.
There you go. Yeah, got to take care of the baby.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Have
so I've been talking it up with some people that I know overseas they're writers.
Yeah,
one's a comic book. Actually, I don't think the comic book guy is actually an artist, and he's out of Peru. You might know him, Elliot Rodriguez, out of Peru.
I know him.
I'm kind of giving him the heads up, and I think you already knew about it. And then there's a young man who's an artist, but he's going to be writing storybooks with his art. And he's out of England. His name is Jack Main, and he's younger gentleman, but great artist. And I kind of gave it
Prose books are also going to be on
heads
the
up
website.
on the site and everything. What was happening?
Yeah. It's just I mean,
Jack's been on here with us a couple of times.
Right. Well, I mean, it's just part of the anytime you do something that's ambitious and
go
this
ahead.
is, you know, it's not like a bunch of like people just creating a website and putting a plug in to you know, for a Shopify or something like that. This is a dedicated website with its own technology, its own software, on its own machines. So there is no vulnerability for Amazon to suddenly say, "Oh, you're using our processes, and we disagree with your politics, so we're going to kill you," like they did to you know, Parler. You know, they just completely destroyed Parler.
Exactly.
So I mean, there's no vulnerabilities like that.
Yeah, and that's the one thing that people that these all these issues in the past have created. Now they've created that alternatives. People are now getting together and saying we got to do an alternative to to Amazon, to all these other platforms, and they're coming out with them slowly.
Yeah.
But they're trying to make an effort to create something new,
Right.
and something that can be competitive. And with what Luke's doing, I think that will be extremely competitive and will be a big draw for artists and creators to come over there and utilize that platform.
Right.
And once it's up and running and it's 100%, it's going to be flooded. I think my opinion is
Well,
a lot of people are
yeah.
Hey,
I think a
T-Bunny,
lot
do
of
you think
people
it's
are
going to go
looking for
more
it,
like
but-
on the independent route of creators, or do you think it's going to be more like the bigger, like DC, Marvel? Do you think they're going to just? I mean, do you think it's going to get to a point where it's a level playing field, that the independent creators are right neck and neck with these guys, that you no longer have to worry about, why am I going to worry about Batman or Superman when I have all these new independent comics? I mean, at what point do you think we're at right now as creators?
I think we're the culture is setting up for a shift. This has happened multiple times in history, especially because people that I've talked to who remember the late 50s, early 60s, and things like that, when the counterculture came in, the counterculture that's now the culture. And they talk about that they set up a parallel system of economy. They set up they didn't go through the routes, the regular routes that were already established. They found ways around. They created radio stations through ham radios and things like that. The guy that set up a radio station offshore and broadcast to England, that the pirate radios, that guy. But they were like setting up these parallel, because rock and roll wasn't played on most of the major stations for a long time. And so it got spread like from venue to venue, people like playing or like broadcasting in on radio waves like ham radio, and it started with the AM radio system. It didn't started actually in FM, because FM was smaller than AM. And that's the reason why FM's bigger now than AM, is because rock and roll started in on the FM system. And eventually that became like the mainstream.
Right.
And so basically what we're looking at right now is we're looking at a cultural shift that's going on. But the difference is that the other when the other culture came in, the culture that was like in place, entrenched, the hyper conservative culture that, country music was like on all the radio stations, they didn't allow anything but country music and things like that. They weren't actively trying to destroy the group that was coming in. They just were like discounting them, ignoring them, or saying that, they're not important, we're not going to pay attention to them.
Right.
The culture sees us coming right now is actively trying to destroy us before we mature and we become the threat that they know we are. And so I expect in the next year you're going to see, except on Twitter for now, I expect to see a lot of the censorship start really, really ramping down in the next year.
Yeah.
In time for the next election.
Do you think that? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you think that big two Marvel? You think DC will still be around? You think DC will still be around?
I think it's going to eventually it's going to be partialed out to other creative endeavors. Eventually, maybe at some time later, it will recoalesce because it's just it's too much history there. But I think as the forces that we see now I think it's going away. And I think it's going away faster than they want to believe it's going away. But this next slate of movies that are coming out, I mean, all of them are misses. I didn't see one thing that James Gunn mentioned the other day that I even feel like I need to see. And all the Marvel, the next generation of Marvel, I'm definitely not going to see. So, I mean,
I have no idea what James Gunn's laid out. That's so.
See, but I got an issue with this shit anyway. See, my problem is we've been spending all this time. They've just okay. So for me, the Marvel for me ended at Endgame. That was it. Endgame was the last one when I wanted to finish it, and I sat there in the theater watching this girl power thing. There's a scene at the end of the movie where all the females get together, and I got such douche chills watching that scene. I knew from that point on, I was
that
like,
was the
okay,
beginning.
That was the beginning for me. I was like, this is completely changing. Now, we went away from this. We're like, we're not going to watch this shit because it's all woke. It's all the garbage that it has become. Let's be honest with it. You can't watch it because of the agenda. There is no longer a separation, a time where you have a period of disbelief to just enjoy a movie. It's no longer there because there's got to be somebody that has to point out the lesbians kissing. It's always got to be a woman lead. Hey, I just found, I just did a video the other day on The Exorcist, right? And the story about it, the guy that's
I saw that.
So this morning I'm doing a little bit of reading and stuff. I gotta verify, but allegedly they're changing Linda Blair to a black female. Okay. I don't give a shit. Race swap all you want. Let's do a good story. But I mean, that's at the point that we're at. But I guess what I'm trying to ask you guys, let's just say that all this, like, I agree with you, T Bunny. This is all coming down because there's a period of time where there's always some shit going on in the world. Historically, there's always the fall of Alexandria. We can talk about history all day long of where we have the rise and falls of civilizations. The only difference is that this is not a physical per se fall because technically we're all online. We see what's going on, and it's more of like a psychological and informational warfare. Once this all is done, if they start making these series again and stop the whole wokeness, do you return back to these series and just say, you know what, this was just a period where they fucked up? Or do you realize that you were stabbed once in the back? Do you trust the people that stabbed you in the back once already?
Right. I honestly think that they crossed the Rubicon a long time ago, and I don't see it coming back from there. Because they did something that you can't come back from. They actively attacked the people who love them.
Yeah, the fans,
and on behalf of people who don't give a shit about them.
They attacked the fans and the customers.
They did. It's like Star Wars or anything else. Once you attack the people who love you, the people who pass that on to their children, the people who like bring their kids to see this stuff, once you attack them, you attacked any future you may have had. And they did it on behalf of people who don't give a shit about what they're doing.
They don't.
These people don't go watch these movies. They don't give a shit. They just want these movies to exist. They want these movies to exist, and they'll defend their right to exist, but they don't support them. Most of them are socialist and communist anyway. And so basically what you're doing is, it's like you're pushing your family car with all the people who love you off the cliff for this chick who like slipped you a number in the bar, and and who's who may or may not be into you,
right.
Okay, so who's funding them? Because you listen, no one wants to lose money.
ESG money.
No.
Yeah. The BlackRock and all that.
It's like all it doesn't matter. Yeah, it doesn't matter what the medium is. It's comic books or movies, television shows, freaking video games, cartoons, all that being attacked from within. not from without, from within, by people who basically check boxes to get their jobs, to get into a position to oversee or have some sort of influence on an IP that they don't care about. They literally don't care about. Just they couldn't give a shit. They don't spend any money. I mean, they're not going to buy the merch or the books or the frickin' videos or anything like that. They just go in to basically make a name for themselves somehow, get their foot in the door, put out some crap script, and try to push it. But they're actively destroying the IPs that they're trying to use as a stepping stone. And
let me give you an example.
Purposeful.
Well, let me give you an example. My HR.
Go ahead.
Sometime during of my company, my HR sometime during the pandemic completely flipped over and went woke. Okay, and so all the choices that they're making now are just completely, totally based on gender and racial politics. You know, everything that they do now. Suddenly, we've got. I work at a weave mill, okay, and the machines that we operate that weave the cloth are about this tall. Suddenly, I see some weavers coming in who are this tall. And they all speak Spanish exclusively. And so number one, they can't reach the machines. They have to get on a step ladder just to
Bro,
get
that's
to
some
the
racist
machine.
ass shit. Not all of us are tiny people like that. We're not all little.
And number two, they can't read English, and so the order sheets that they're supposed to be following, they can't even read them. And so that's exactly like what's going on here, in the fact that they're basically taking like these actors and actresses and these writers who have nothing to do and can't create the narratives that they need, and they can't act the roles that they need, and they're bringing them in, and then they're wondering why they're failing. You know, it's like, well, you can't put kerosene in a gasoline car and expect it to run. You know,
exactly. They don't care about
the entertainment industry.
The fans, great for turning over the money.
Entertainment industry seems to have
a
lot of money to burn through.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying the entertainment industry seems to have a lot of money to burn through. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if, they're being funded from entities outside of the industry, because they're just pissing money away. The proof is in the pudding when you mention something like Star Wars, because Doctor Who and Star Trek and so on, because you see viewership goes down after the first few episodes of the first season. Batwoman was a good example of that. Not that I watched it. When you have this,
did you watch Batwoman,
best,
Crual?
Star Wars? When you've got the best Star Wars trilogy in history, doing complete pants, after the box office,
they had a layup and they turned it into a full court shot.
They love to mention the box office. Well, it's not making $1 gazillion at the box office for the next 40 years. So, when you see the merchandise is not flying off the shelves the way it should be, that's just my humble little opinion. But that tells me that something might be wrong.
Yeah. Well, a car who's all four tires, you've blown out all four tires, will go forward for a little while. Just from sheer momentum.
Yeah, not easily.
But the tires are gone.
What are you, a fucking fortune cookie?
Yes.
That's what I do. I'm a writer.
I know you are.
Man.
I know you are. Hey, we need to talk sometime, man, because I tried. Listen, I'm embarrassingly trying to write the other day, because I have these weird ideas in my head. Holy fuck, did it look like chicken scratch? And it made sense coming out, but when I read it, it made no sense to me. So I started doing research. I'm like, God damn, how can I get better doing this shit? So yeah, complete.
Well, watch
flop.
my channel. I do
Yeah.
a lot of talking about it.
I'm actually going to see one of the videos that you have that literally says how to write comics 101 or something like that. Just like how to actually write. Yeah, because shit, man. It's like I'm like fucking. Yeah, it's terrible. But I'm not going to stop because what else am I going to do?
There you go. There you go. You can't. You can't. Everybody starts. Everybody starts it. So. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Wookie. Cut everybody off.
These IPs or these. Yeah, I know. Also, one on my end, I don't know what the hell. So I'm sorry if I dipped you off a little bit.
No,
not intentional. But anyway, yeah, there seems to be the effort through these philanthropy.
Is it the lag?
Operations
lag
where the philanthropy money is starting to run out, and you can see that with these IPs. You can see this with these IPs that are starting to dwindle, but it's kind of twofold because it's dwindling because the philanthropy money is done, but also that they've destroyed it so much that there's no residual income from anything.
Yeah,
and from the commercial side of it, as far as being able to market it, no one wants to deal with it, and no one thinks there's any money because. Right. And here's a good case in point: Star Wars action figures by Hasbro. When the Rise of Skywalker came out, you couldn't find a lot of action figures based on the Rise of Skywalker. There was a few, and then once the thing was over with, they were all on the clearance rack, literally giving them away. No one wanted to buy any of it because they had enough of it. But the manufacturing side of it said, we're not going to lose our ass,
right?
Because they pay too much for that freaking IP. Hasbro pays Disney for the labeling and everything else for those packaging and every marketing, all that shit. They didn't want to lose their ass completely by all of a sudden sitting on tractor trailer loads of product that they can't sell because nobody wants them,
Right.
And so I saw that on my end, in my experience in retail recently, where you'd see, and Wakanda Forever is another
for the Star Wars license isn't really cheap either.
That got jammed. Yeah, well, Wakanda Forever, they had all kinds of different stuff. They had a big deal with Hasbro because they had Wakanda Forever freaking Monopoly games. They had all kinds of plushy toys. They had action figures of different sizes. They had play sets. They had all kinds of shit. Guess what? It was all on freaking clearance. Full. Nobody bought it. And
because black people like the idea of Wakanda, but they don't like watching. They didn't want to go see the movie.
Yeah,
they weren't the ones supporting it.
Nobody was supporting the merchandise.
Yeah, but look, this merchandise.
White people to stay home. They told white people to stay home.
This merchandise wasn't directed to anybody else but black people. Let's be honest. You didn't see look. You can see commercials all the time on this Black Panther. You don't see no fucking white kids running around with the Wakanda gear on.
Here's a counter to that.
Please.
Yeah, but yes, you have a point. It's a good point, but here's a counterpoint. Same freaking company, same outfit, different franchise. They were selling those things for 2 for 1. They couldn't freaking get rid of them. They couldn't get rid of the Eternals action figures. Again, same company, Hasbro, same company.
Action
Disney.
figures is not the action figures is not the end game. The action figures is like nothing. It's meaningless. There's a bigger picture to this.
But
the action figures don't mean dick. Most of this comes down to rituals of humiliation. From the
what was the big marketing push for Eternals, though? The biggest marketing push for Eternals was to minorities.
Yeah.
They exclusively to minorities, and the only white people involved in that Eternals was the only white straight character that was pushed in Eternals was Angelina Jolie, and she wasn't even in any of the materials. She didn't want her name on this piece of shit. So she wasn't in any of the materials. She didn't show up on any of the red carpets.
Right.
But she knew it was a turkey. But but she was the only thing that white straight people would have gone see. because everything else was pushed. It was pushed to the LGBTQ. It was pushed to the minorities. That's exclusively who they are marketed to. And those people aren't the ones that would have gone seen Eternals. They're not the ones that love Jack Kirby's original concepts.
Right.
And especially when they found out that the only like a white straight male in the whole thing, who was the hero of the Eternals, they made into a villain. So who the hell's going to go see it after that?
Oh yeah,
Icarus
the
was
Scottish
turned
guy
into
into a villain.
villain.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the point. It's not to watch. Nobody they know nobody wants to see this shit. They know this. You know, you got to find a way to funnel money. I mean, I'm not getting into all that shit.
Well, they tried to tap the tap the Asian
give the money to me.
with
I'll
Shang-Chi.
spend it on shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they tried to tap the Asian markets with Shang-Chi, but they screwed that up because Asian markets are Asians are the most racist people on the planet Earth.
Yes.
And they are not going to like watch anything that's not their particular brand of Asian. Because they don't see themselves as a monolith, okay? The Chinese didn't even show Shang-Chi because they felt it was too Hong Kong positive.
Well, look at Top Gun.
They didn't even show it.
Look at what they did with Top Gun. They didn't want to show it because they had the Taiwan, the Taiwan flag. I mean,
I think that what.
Here's the thing: if you, okay, let's wait for Wookiee.
Okay, go ahead, Wookiee. Nope. Okay.
Give it a second. No, give it a second, please.
What?
There he goes.
What?
You there, Wookiee? You had a point to make. We were like, wait, giving you room.
What?
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
All right, Fall 13. I guess
I was going to say, the thing is that Marvel or Disney in general, this is what Disney's done. What? This is what Disney's done. They've taken these IPs. They've taken Marvel. They've taken Star Wars. Okay. And they've taken those two main IPs and they have basically flooded the market with subpar crap that nobody's interested. Hardcore original fans of both don't give a shit about. They gave them a bunch of carrots with leading up to and the end of Endgame for Marvel, and they gave them a bunch of carrots in The Force Awakens or what do they call the one that was supposed to be the pre-movie to the original Star Wars movie, but they put all these carrots out, and then when they decided to deliver, they delivered subpar crap, and it just soured everybody. It just destroyed, but that destroyed merchandising, everything. Same thing with freaking Doctor Who. When now I have nothing against Jodie Whittaker personally or having a Doctor Who that's a female. I personally don't care, but the actions of the studio, the actions of the actor, basically destroyed Doctor Who merchandising for any of the new material, whether it's Daleks, her figures, TARDISes, all the ancillary characters that encompass what she was doing in her 5 years run. They died. They literally freaking just dropped off and sank to the bottom of the ocean like the Titanic. Yeah. Nobody gave a shit because of their actions. The studio got defensive, started calling people names. The actors started calling people names and being defensive, and it turned the fan base off. Marvel's done the same thing because it's Disney. Disney has basically bastardized all their IPs that they own, and nobody wants to deal with new from Disney. They want to go back to the old shit.
Well, let me point out the level of writing that Disney is putting out.
Old
okay,
cells, all those things like that.
Well, let me point out the level of writing that Disney's putting out right now. There's something called the High Republic. Okay, it was a series of novels and it was a series of comic books.
Yeah.
Okay. Now this is one of their properties that they put out. Okay, the ship was called Vessel, and on the vessel, the navigator was a rock named Geode.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Living rock. named
I remember
Geode.
that.
Okay, and the male was like a completely totally
That's right.
differential to the female who was happened to be the usual dark skin with the comb over, the shaved head comb over, which was just their uniform. Okay,
Oh.
and so this is the level of writing that we're dealing with here. And that's the kind of people that they're putting in these writing rooms. People who are that bereft of ideas that they think a rock is a character.
I think I'll make a rock.
So
Well, here's the thing: they did it.
We're
They
talking
did it
about
in a way
layups
I've
here.
seen-
We're talking about layups here. Okay, it's like Top Gun Maverick proves. Top Gun Maverick proves that all you have to do to do a sequel to something is love the original and just bring everything forward from the original, add new wrinkles, but make sure that everybody knows how much you love the original, that they love too, and just bring it forward. Bring all the aspect that people loved about the original, bring characters that people loved about the original, but then explore new people and explore new things. Okay. That's what they did in Top Gun Maverick. Billions and billions and billions of dollars later, because people are just saying, all we want is a layup. Like Ghostbusters.
It's fanfare. They just want fanfare. A little bit of fanfare. That's it. Little. I love that movie, by the way. The Ghostbusters Afterlife. That fucking movie gave me chills just because of the fanfare. Because they had respect for the original material. I watched that movie by myself and I loved it because it brought a lot of memories as a kid. I saw that in theaters. You know, that scene with a lady freaking with a librarian. Still scary to me to this day because it's a good memory. And what they did with that movie, it was just enough bullshit, just enough sprinkle of their whatever they're trying to do. But they never forgot. One of the best parts that gave me the chills in that movie was when the little girl turned on the proton pack, and I was and I have a hell of a surround sound system, and the whole room just went boom. And I was like, like it was one of the greatest feelings ever. And you know, he's right. That's all you have to do. Just give us something that we can enjoy and watch. Listen, if you want to race, that's another thing. You know, going into something else, Velma. Let's talk about Velma real quick. I wouldn't give a shit. No. It's not a bad about Velma. I'm not. I wouldn't give a shit if you race swap the characters. I wouldn't care what you did. Okay. If you decide that you don't want Scooby in it, no problem. Create a good story. Create an original story that has a different line. Now, I hear a lot of people complaining about this, right? And so the first thing I would love to ask them is, have you been watching Scooby-Doo since it started? Are you upset because of that, or are you upset because you're pushing an agenda? Because if you're an original fan and you follow Scooby-Doo, I have a little bit more respect for you if you're going to bitch about it because you're hardcore. You know, you have a different perspective. But if you have somebody that's bitching about a show just because, and it's shit, by the way, the show is complete shit. I won't do a review on it because I don't want to waste my time. It's shit. It's shit.
Actively hostile.
Yes, it's just
actively hostile.
I lasted 10 minutes before I just couldn't do it because it's like, this is not what is the target audience? Who the fuck are they trying to? There's not even a target audience.
How many times you've asked that question? Who is this made for? Who is this made for? How many times have we asked that question? Who are you making this for? Because whoever you're making this for is not the people that are going to go see it. You're basically just putting a Rembrandt into a rave club and expecting them to appreciate it.
Let's be honest. Was the original Scooby-Doo really that good compared to what is around? It wasn't really that good at the time. But
it didn't have to be. But
it had a format and it did what it did. You know, why not just continue with a format that isn't broken? You know. I mean, you had what? Let me see. Before that, you had Pup Named Scooby-Doo. You know, you had a lot of cartoons. Then they kind of remade it in like, if I remember correctly, in the late 2000s, kind of little modern spin on it. And then it kind of disappeared. And then you get this shit. I mean,
well, And
Well,
we've
here's
even
the
got
thing.
the people
Warner
that should know
Brothers
better
bought
who are
the
sellouts.
IP from Hanna-Barbera.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
But
Warner Brothers
uh,
came from Hanna-Barbera, and they did try to bring it back. And I've seen some of those movies that they came out with. They weren't
Yeah.
bad. They tried to stay true to the original series and original characters. They just put them
But they actually had like
in a
Supernatural
modern
in them.
day format. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so they brought them into a more modern thing. They kind of tried to ignore Scrappy Doo. I didn't mind that character and the other characters that they brought in, like in the early 80s or whatever, but it is what it is. And then they came out with the more, I guess, CGI formatted cartooning,
Yeah.
which was the Mystery Incorporated. And I watched that complete series. At first, I was worried. I was really worried about it, but it wasn't bad. They did try to stay true to the source. Yeah, the character of Fred was probably emasculated a lot, but outside of that, it wasn't bad. And it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And then they come up with this.
But it's like
Velma
Masters of the
thing.
Universe.
Oh, please don't.
It's nuts.
Fuck, man. Shut up, man. Fuck.
Who am I being right now?
Fuck, bro. Listen, I grew up with that shit.
Yeah.
I was so excited, man. And you know what?
Kevin
As
Smith.
much of it's a piece of shit Kevin Smith is,
Yeah.
I was willing to let it slide and be like, man, you know what? Maybe he'll put the passion that he did in like the way that he feels about comics. Okay. I was one of those people that was like, please just don't fuck up my He-Man, man. Don't fuck up my He-Man. Because it was just go to hell, T.
But it wasn't He-Man. It was Tila.
It was Tila. It
the
was fucking
show.
Tila. The only He-Man I now
SJW
think that
Tila.
was the best remake was the one that they did around 2005. That they only lasted about
Yes,
one
yes,
season,
that was a
and it
good
was a
series.
great. It was like a combination
a-
of like when anime was coming to the
Okay,
United
yeah, I've
States,
seen some-
hardcore. You know,
Yes.
what a great remake.
That was a good-
where it was just perfect. You know,
Yeah.
Then this shit, I was excited.
I'm told that there's
I've
another
seen
one that
some of
was
that.
released
That's
about the
pretty good,
same
yeah.
time as that piece of shit that was actually pretty decent. But I didn't. I think I was like so put off that I didn't watch it. But they said there was another one at the same time that was pretty okay. But I don't know.
And what was it? I saw something. Abby, someone on the chat. He says the studios are pandering to the woke culture. I don't think they are. I don't think they are. They're not pandering to the woke culture because you're talking about. See, the perception here is
culture.
Perception versus reality. Okay, this is what we're looking at. Perception is that they are the majority because we see them on Twitter, Facebook. They are amplified in the algorithm. If I hate that fucking word. All right, but we are the majority. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
bro, I speak like a lot of languages, so I'm fucked. But you know, they're not doing it to them. They're doing it to the person that's fucking the fucking puppet master that's controlling the strings. And because you got to look, all right. A couple of years back, it was all right. So I'm looking at 2012 because I used to work for the feds, and they were trying to funnel that shit in since 2012. Okay, and the way that they were funneling it through the federal system is through incentives. They had a lot of programs when it came to like minorities, for example. They would have clubs, things like that you would go to, you would lead, and it would help you with promotion. And you didn't have to be that race, which was you could. It didn't matter. And what I started seeing was it was all about just pushing the agenda because this was a yearly thing. This was something that was a check the block. This was you had to do. You had to attend. It was a must shit, So I saw this stuff start happening in 2012. Then when Trump came in, it was about 2016. If I'm 2016, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened is in the federal government, when there's a new president, all the presidential photos are changed out. Okay. That happens almost immediately because they already know who it is, right? So for months, the photos weren't changed out. And as we're sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now, at this point, I haven't really been involved in politics. I don't give a fuck. Daddy just wants to make his money, go home safe, and, live my life. Mm-hmm. But when I started seeing that this politic was coming into the workforce and now you're getting incentives for doing certain things, it started becoming very strange. Now, I got out for my reasons. I no longer did it. I'm retired. But yeah, there's a bigger fucking picture that people don't realize, and it's just going on a whole lot longer too. As far as media has always been part of this shit. You know, you just have to do a little bit of a deep dive and see how effective media is when it comes to
go back to Randolph first and see when everything got consolidated.
You know, the psychological warfare of this part is what gets you. You know, physical pain is only very short, but if they can get you in the mind, that's where the true power is. When they can convince you, like 1984, that you have fucking 6 instead of 5. You know, that's the true power right there. And by them doing this shit, you know, doing these Marvel movies and saying we're gonna keep pumping until you clowns just accept that this is how it's gonna be. We have a fucking balloon flying over the United States right now. Okay. And that's just 2 + 2 is 5. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a big fuck you. Hey, look what we're doing over the United States.
Yeah.
Look, as a guy who's fought for this country and has seen what happens, I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed. What the fuck is going on? You know, and why is there no concern?
Well, let me mention this. Okay, there's somebody that everyone should be talking about, but they're not, and her name is Sama Amanat. Okay.
Why does that sound familiar?
Now, you don't know who that is. Okay. Well, you should. You should know who that is. Okay. And around 2016, this young lady came out of the Clinton campaign and went into Marvel. Okay. And suddenly, when she hit Marvel, they're suddenly like doing. They race swapped Miss Marvel and made this little Muslim girl. Okay, but that little girl was based on Sama Amanat. Okay, that's how much power she had coming in, and suddenly she's like in charge of the all the IPs basically from then out. She was basically the senior editor because everything went through her. Okay, now suddenly we have Marvel now, and everybody got race swept. Everybody got switched out. Everybody got gender swapped. Okay. And they're like, okay, this is Marvel going forward. And they did it just like overnight. Everything got, you know, this is new Marvel now. Okay. And that's when a lot of people are like, you know, that's when Captain America said Hail Hydra and everything. And there was like, holy shit, what's going on? Okay. Now, what's going on now? Reason she went into Marvel at that time was because the MCU was riding high. The MCU was $1 billion movies every time out, and suddenly she goes into Marvel. She does this Marvel Now thing. All right, what we're seeing now with the MCU, she got control of the MCU finally through her proxy, who's called Victoria Alonso. And she's basically Sama Amanat's proxy. Okay, so all you're seeing right now, the MCU has gone Marvel Now. Everything she did with Marvel Now, she's doing with the MCU. Like she switched Iron Man out for Riri Williams' Ironheart, which was one of the worst characters I've ever seen. And guess what? You know, she was in Wakanda Forever, and she's getting her own standalone. Okay,
of course.
So everything. Well, you want to know where the Marvel world's heading? Look at Marvel Now.
Hey, she's also in I'm going to do a video on this. Yeah, I need to pitch that. She's also in The Exorcist. Mm-hmm. She's also in the new Exorcist that's being released. She just got that. I saw that this morning. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was that?
So she, but yeah, she's straight from the Clinton campaign and went straight in at Marvel, and she had all the power in the world just right out of the box. She is Homer Aberdeen's first cousin. You know, who's Hillary Clinton's right-hand girl.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, that's how connected she is. And so when she went into Marvel, the MCU was still flying high, but that was always the aim. That's always who she was after. She wanted the MCU because at that time it had the most cultural power and it had the most physical power, financial power. And so she finally got control of it right after Endgame. And
and that's
and
when
so,
everything that started, visibly becoming decayed was right after Endgame. But here's I think what we should really be talking about. I mean, as far as whatever industry you're in, whether it's comic book, it's print media, online media, news, movies, anything like that, we need to be talking about what can we do, what can we come up with as a parallel alternative, bring back the independence. Like I think what Eric July did basically rocked the industry. It pissed off Marvel and DC big time. He made over $3 million on his campaign, over 50,000 books sold. Okay, and still going with his I saw him #1. He did it with his own money. Now, granted, he had the opportunity to do that. He financed all of it. He second mortgage on his house and the whole 9 yards. So he was able to come up with that. It was his personal goal. He basically, they talk about putting skin in the game. He put his whole body in the game. His neck was on the and he threw, he threw a 7. He didn't throw snake eye. He got that $3 million, and the rest is history. And I think we need to see more of that. And I think what Luke is trying to do, and you and everybody else that's associated with that, is what needs to be done. We need to get behind those platforms that are going to support the independent creator. We need to get behind those companies that are going to be making independent server systems that they're not beholden to Amazon or Google or anybody else as far as from the tech industry and things like that. We need to be getting behind companies that are making alternative cell phones that aren't riddled with Google spyware, and Apple and stuff like that. That's where we've got to start looking. God bless them. I know people I don't want to be political more than what we already have, but I mentioned this guy's name, Ben Shapiro, and the Daily Wire. They're trying to do their own production company as far as from
Fuck
the
Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro's an asshole. Fuck that guy.
I understand it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You better. You know what? You better get your vaccine. I think you better get your vaccine. Fuck that guy. Listen, if he was, fuck that. Nope.
But what I'm saying is
go ahead, make your point.
Production company. I'm talking about the production company he's trying to do. He brought Gina Carano on, and they did a movie. I don't know how well it did. I haven't seen it. I don't know.
Well, it's completely behind the paywall, so there's no way of knowing that.
Yeah, but you know what? You can only push this conservative shit for so long, and people are going to get tired of it. I mean, I'm sorry. I want something different. I don't want the fucking cheesecake every goddamn day. Listen, I don't know if Wookie's trying to talk or not.
Go ahead.
Well, I see your point that you're making there, and I think what we really need to pay attention to, and what me and my group, the Genesis crew, is trying to focus on is we're trying to find what's next, and we don't think what's next is people coming out of the mainstream and going into independent comics. We don't think those guys are what's next. They're getting all the money because people still are still fetishistic about the mainstream so much that somebody that's worked on the Hulk is going to get all the money. But the thing about it is, though, is the people that we're paying attention to, the people we're trying to get eyes on, are the people who's never even sniffed the mainstream. The mainstream wouldn't spit on them if they were on fire. Okay. Those are the people that we're paying attention to, the ones that have been crafting this IP for decades, have been loving on it, have been writing on it, have been creating a world. Like mine dates back, this guy here dates back all the way to 1998.
That's what I was going to ask you. What is that?
This is Ironsides. This is my my main character for my book. He's like, I kind of moved him forward quite a bit when Iron Man said, or Captain America said, "Hail Hydra," and I was like, "Oh shit, you're not going to take that out of the culture," So I created somebody that I thought would bring some of that back. And my book, Community Service, I'm going to launch it on my 50th birthday, July the 1st this year, and he's my main character. I had somebody was like, somebody's like, I need a challenge. I want to make an action figure. And I was like, well, this is going to be a challenge for you. He's got a crystal arm. Okay. And so I was like, if you can do that, then I'll say you're awesome. And he got an Iceman figure that was completely clear, and he like painted everything else.
That's cool.
And so,
Nice.
but it's so cool. I'm like, I just want to display him somehow, so I just put him there.
Bro, I got your next big idea. You ready? Here it
Go
is.
ahead. Yeah.
All right. The fucking attention span on these people nowadays is like a minute to 2 minutes, right?
Right.
So
right.
the person that had the greatest idea in the world was fucking the big kid. Remember that he was getting molested by the adult? Well, actually, the adult. Let's not get into Big. You remember in the movie Big where he's talking about the comics and he's like, "Hey, let's make comics that talk." Right?
Yeah. Right.
Let's not make the comics that talk. Just make fucking 2-minute comic like game type things. They probably already have this shit, man. Just make a freaking 1-minute comic that's digital, right? And then in a certain point of the comic, just like in that thing, have them make a choice, right? But here's the catch. If they make the wrong decision, they can't fucking access their comic for like 24 hours and now they have to wait. Genius idea. Fuck these people. It's all about the psychological torture.
Right. Well,
Man.
but talking about
oh yeah, so that's the question, I guess. What's the end game? Digital format or paper? Is paper gonna make it? The physical format still hold its, like comic book collectors still want that. I would love
physical
the physical
format's
format
never going to go away. It's never going to go away. Because people want something in their hand. They want something in their hand. There's something about physical medium, the tactile, the possession of it that will never go away. Digital can just be gone. I mean, all the people, I have Comixology, okay, and I had a bunch of comics on Comixology, gone. Okay, that thing goes down, it's all gone. But I've got comics you wouldn't believe. I backed almost every project from CG for almost 3 years, and I got it all here somewhere. So,
Nice.
But that's never going to go away. Just the ability to have that in your hand. It's not going to go away. No.
So how do you feel about those NFTs then?
NFTs has already gone away.
What? Yes. I'm just curious how somebody was. I just don't understand how somebody was fooled by that. I never could get it, and I know a lot of it was, with Bitcoin. It was all Bitcoin kind of invested, but it just never made sense to me.
Monkey. It was Betamax basically. You have Betamax, you have VHS, and Betamax is harder to deal with, but and everybody's like, "Oh, Betamax is going to be the next big thing," and all these people jumped on Betamax, and then they couldn't find anything for Betamax because everything was made for VHS,
Yeah.
But Betamax is a better. I mean, when I like a game system, like what was it, Saturn? Sega Saturn.
Yeah,
probably.
Sega.
There's still things on the Sega Saturn that are not available any other game system.
Yeah,
and that came out in the 90s. Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, it was supposed to be the big next thing, but then the culture shifted into like CD based games, and boom, it was gone. And
well, the Dream you
so
mentioned the Sega. I was working for Toys R Us when Dreamcast came out, and Dreamcast, to be honest with you, the format was great. It had a lot of buzz, but then as soon as they had a bug, they had one freaking bug, which screwed them over. But the other part of that was they didn't have the licensing for a lot of the popular games that original PlayStation already had. And so when PlayStation 2 came out, it was just an Nintendo licenses and the new licenses and new games for that platform, and it just blew Sega Dreamcast out of the water. Although Sega was a great platform, but unfortunately, they got screwed because of a bug.
Right. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, though,
and then Nintendo ended up buying them. And then Nintendo ended up buying them out a few years later.
Right.
supply all the IPs.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think at the end of the day, though, the culture is about to shift, and I think that we need to be very mindful of paying attention to what's next, what's going to be a culture changer. Somewhere right now in campaigns that are under 10K is the next Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the next the next Lady Death, the next the next big thing that's going to be that come out of left field and change the industry. It's somewhere in these under 10K properties is my belief. And we just got to find a way to keep that person's head above the water so they don't give up until they can get it out there.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I love these guys that came out of the mainstream. I love the professionals, every single one of those guys. I adore those guys. And I back them. I back them when they put stuff out. Graham Nolan, I've got every book that Graham Nolan's put out except for one because I didn't have the finances at that time. But the thing about it is, though, is these guys, they got mainstream thinking. They create things that look like the mainstream. What I'm looking for is someone's never sniffed the mainstream. This mainstream would pissed on them if they were on fire. They've been working and crafting and thinking about things for years. I've got a friend of mine that put out a comic called Shadowpunk. Accompanying that comic,
Shadowpunk.
Shadowpunk.
I know Shadow.
Okay.
I know that. Yes.
Yeah. Accompanying that comic is a 5-minute 3D prequel to his comic that he created after it's 5 minutes, but he was like a year or a minute on that on that movie. It took him nearly 5 years to create, and it's got moving pairs, it's got all the effects, and it's one of the most incredible things I've seen. And this guy did it himself, but it took him like nearly 5 years to do it. And he put it out with it, and it's like the prequel to his comic, and that comic has got like a color palette of basically red and blue, different variations of red and blue, and it's like nothing I've ever seen. And he taught himself all these things to make his comic, and I that kind of person, that kind of ingenuity, that kind of determination, that kind of love for his IP, that's the kind of person that is going to change everything. Someone that determined, someone that spent that much time and that much love on something is going to change everything. And that's who we should be paying attention for. That's who we need to keep an eye out for. People like that. And his current campaign is around less than 9,000, and it should be up there 6 figures, high fives. It should be for what he's offering, but he doesn't have a name.
We gotta,
nobody
yeah. Well, we gotta do what we need to do to get that website up and running.
Yeah.
However, even just get it going so that
Did any
people like
any
them,
of you see the little teaser for Rebecca Gold season 2?
I have not. I saw it posted.
It was good.
I don't know what that is.
Yesterday.
Yeah, look up Rebecca Gold, T Bunny. It's done by a director out of England. He's an independent director now. Ian David Diaz.
It's the UK, not England. God damn it! Fucking. Anyway,
whatever.
sorry,
Great Britain, actually.
Great Britain.
Great Britain.
The GB.
Not England.
It's the UK.
I'm prophet.
United Kingdom.
Yeah, Great Britain. Anyway, he's his series on YouTube. I think it's pretty good. Check it out and see what he's doing as an independent filmmaker. And it's a YouTube exclusive, I believe. And he's had a few movies make it to Netflix. Is that right, Crual? Yeah, so he's got some stuff, other stuff out there.
I haven't seen them myself. I've seen Rebecca Gold.
There was the one I watched about the assassin guy. That was a pretty
Bad Day.
good one. It was done on low budget. Yeah, that was a good one. Low budget, but it was good. Written very well. Anyway, so yeah, it's supporting people like that is what needs to be,
Right.
Is what we need to be doing.
Yeah, let me
I
go
don't
ahead and
think
put this in.
I don't think that Marvel Comics and DC Comics are going to be around for very much longer as they stand now. It's just my opinion.
No, they're not.
I mean,
they're
the
not.
industry is taking a hit. They're all laying people off and everything.
Yeah, I put that in your chat over there. The movie link. He's also got trailers for his comic over there, and they're all in 3D. All through render 3D.
Cool.
He actually does. He actually does like a 3D figurines for people. Let me show. Like he did this one. So, Old Man Hawkeye.
Oh, look at that.
Pull that up. Hold on a second. Yeah, let me get this up on the screen. There we go.
Thanks, man.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's got
Very nice.
it's got details you wouldn't believe. I mean, it's got like the cargo pockets that have button on it. I mean, it's got the ponytail in the back. I mean, it's incredible. And
Nice. And that's what he's doing, huh?
Yeah, he's done this for several people. He tried to get some traction, but just try to get him to like promote his. He made him like free for people, and then he's like, please, promote me, on your show. And he made one for ISOM for Young Rippa, but Young Rippa never responded to him, and it really looked good. But these people wouldn't promote him. They're like, they'd basically like, oh, thank you for the figurine, and they never would promote him. He made one for Mandy Summers for Gymshock. Her Gymshock figurine, and the one for Joe Sontag. He made one for Reaper Destroyer. That looks incredible. He's like standing on gargoyles. He made one for Bancroft. Bancroft's new comic that he's promoting right now, Painted Death, and it's she's standing on like skulls, and each skull has an eye socket.
Nice.
I mean, the detail that he goes into is just incredible. But this guy's in the community right now. He comes on my shows and he gets me in trouble because he's a conspiracy theorist like you wouldn't believe. I mean, everything's a conspiracy to him. Everything, man. So we're talking about Bruce Lee, and he's talking about Bruce Lee was probably a drug addict. I was like,
Nice.
what? No, don't say that. Don't say that. But I mean, he's just like everything goes with conspiracy with him. He got me in trouble all the time with his own. But right now he's buried trying to finish up his comic. But yeah, that guy's in our community. That guy right there. I mean, we've got these people are in our community, and they're not in these big shows, man. They're not on these big, gigantic shows, with 10,000 subs or whatever. They're in the ranks among us under 10K people. They're in this strata, and they're the people I'm impressed by. The people that I see true ingenuity. Because they don't have the resources. They can't just throw money at it or pay somebody to do it. They're doing it all themselves. And I'm seeing some really incredible genius things that are coming out. Wow. So that's what Buy One Back One's about, putting them all on the same level.
Thank you, buddy.
Anyway,
Thank you.
What?
I never thought. Wait. Let me finish, and then you can say what you have to say. Okay.
Okay. No problem.
Bro, I thought that you were kind of a dick, right? And you said those beautiful words about like my channel and stuff, man, and that I'm a genius. Hey, you're a good person, man. Everything I said before you ever arrived here, I'm gonna take all that shit back, man.
No,
thank you.
Don't
thank you, buddy.
because it's all true, probably.
No. No,
I own it, man. I own that shit.
That's true. I believe in that. Look, I'm not a big channel whatsoever, but when I'm going to start doing live streams, I want the small channels to come hang out. They seem to be the ones that are more thankful. They're willing to share. They're more open.
Right.
There's no agenda, you know.
Well, it's like I was saying the other night with you and Wookie came on my channel. I was like, the real fun thing, the real fun channels are not these big gargantuan channels where everybody's on and everybody's plastered and everybody's like talking over one another. You know, the real fun ones are the ones where everybody's like, pretty much they don't have an agenda. They don't have clout to chase. They're just like, we're here. Nobody's watching us. We don't give a shit. We're just going to have fun. And
right.
And that's,
holy shit! Did you just say? Wait a minute. Were you being nice and insulting at the same time?
Look, nobody watches, man. Nobody watches my channel. I just go, man.
Bro, I love your channel. Every time I love your channel, man. Listen, I watch Cannabis and Conspiracies. I like to watch. And whatever. Actually, just I'm asking, what happened to the Saturday stream, the 5 o'clock stream?
Oh, well, I kind of got burned out a little bit on the quiz show. I'm going to bring it back at some point, but tonight, I've been doing a 7 o'clock stream on Saturday night, so I'm going to try to get more consistent with that. But it's like tonight, I'm going to continue my series on Pulp versus Noir, which really is like when it comes to characters, it really is the ones and zeros. It's the binary. All characters are going to fall in one of those two categories, either pulp or noir. And I've got three in a series so far, and tonight's going to be the fourth. And we're going to like discuss, we're going to start bringing up some characters and saying, is this person pulp or noir, and why? What does that matter? And we're going to start discussing that. And it's like the heart of every character creation that you do is knowing if this person's pulp or noir, because if they're pulp, that means they're not going to shift when you write them. They're not going to shift very much. And so
what do you mean by
hang
shift
your
as
whole
far as
entire
their
story
ethics?
on? What's that?
What do you mean by shift? Because as far as their principles and personal principles or ethics, or the story?
Principles and ethics, right? They're not going to shift very much, and so you can basically use them to prop up your whole entire story,
right?
Because you know how this person's going to react, and they're not going to adjust, beyond a certain. They're not going to like completely switch, okay? So you can like rely on them for your story, And what they're doing now is they're screwing with that, and that's why these stories are. We know something's wrong with the story because that person shouldn't act like that. Captain America should never ever say Hell Hydra. Okay,
right?
That would never happen. It would never happen.
Even to his advantage.
Nah,
why
it
not?
Would never happen.
It doesn't. But you would use it as a tactical advantage. Marvel world. Okay, let's go Marvel.
Right.
The patriotism of the whole entire thing. It's about he's patriotic, and he would ethics, ethos, all that stuff.
Yeah, right.
I would think, and if I remember correctly, he says it in the elevator because he realized he was outnumbered. He, as strong as he is, they had. I mean, I don't know, but I felt like he was using it more like a tactical advantage to fool,
to
gain an edge.
When he said it in the comic, he meant it.
Okay,
if he ever said it, he would never say it and mean it. But they had him in the comic saying it and meaning it.
I have to read this comic. Can you please send me a link or something? I'm very curious. Bro, I love Captain America. He's one of the first things I read as a kid.
Full Hydra. Yeah, that was a controversial series of that was doing that.
They broke Marvel when they did that. Because
why would he go full Hydra?
Character. He would never do that.
Somebody had a stupid ass idea.
Yeah, and they signed off on it. But Sam Amanat was signed off on it. So there you go.
Sounds about right.
That's why it happened.
Kill Iron Man. Do that to that. God,
Well, Iron Man's not really pulp. Well, he's pulp in the MCU, but he's not really pulp in comics. He's done some shady stuff in the comics, you know. So, but there, I mean, yeah, he had. So there's times in the comics where, depending on who wrote him, I guess. But yeah. But anyway, that's tonight at 7:00. If you're wanting to know, that show's going to be tonight.
You're gonna have
But
guests.
I'm already promoting it. If you guys want to come on, I'd love to have you.
Bro, I'm down. I ain't doing nothing.
Okay.
Where are you at? So then I got the times and stuff correctly. That would be what? Oh, okay. Never mind. I know where you're at.
7 p.m.
Yeah, I know where you're at. I got you.
7 p.m. EST.
Yeah, send an invite, man. If you want shit, I would love to come on. That sounds interesting.
All right, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, what basically what this is about though is it tells you what's wrong with modern storytelling. It the pulp noir binary tells you what's wrong with all the storytelling right now. Is that the fact that if you have a character who's true blue, tried and true, and has a moral code, a true moral code, then there's things that they're not going to do. And so that shapes your whole entire story. And the fact that they're removing that from people, then it basically your story loses its structure. It loses its form. Okay. And it becomes this amorphous mass of just amoral people doing amoral shit to each other. And you basically it basically becomes a tedium. Okay. How many? That was a description. How many shows are like that right now that you know of?
Yeah, all of them. All of them. They found a way to destroy, or to destroy a character, or to change a character's. Well, Velma. Let's circle back. Look at Velma. How they've taken the characters that were out of their. I mean, who's Snoopy now? It was replaced. I think what is it? A black female.
Yeah, it was a black girlfriend. I think is going to be Snoopy. Because people are like, "Oh shit, they're going to go there."
But what? And again, you ask yourself, what does it add to the story?
Oh, you mean Scooby? Yeah,
Scooby. Yeah. What does it add to the story? Nothing. And I mean, I just want a good story. I think that's what it comes down to. Holy shit. Okay,
we want people to care about. There are comic books out there right now that are getting 5 figures every time they come out, high 5 figures or even 6 figures coming out. And there's nobody in that whole entire damn comic that I care. Whatever happens to them, I don't care. And I can name you 2 off the top of my head. I won't because I'll get in trouble. But anyway,
oh come on, why would you do? Hey, put in a private chat. Put in a private chat.
All right, I'll say it. Grave Diggers, the Graveyard Shift, and Jawbreakers. There's nobody in those comics I care about. And I got all the way up to Jawbreakers. I got Jawbreakers Grand Bazaar, and then I noped out. And then I got all the way up to Graveyard Shift 3, and I noped out because after 3 books, if I don't care about anybody in that whole entire book, then I'm out. I'm sorry, I'm out. I gotta have somebody to care about. I've got to care. Okay, that's what's wrong with all modern storytelling. I've got to care. Okay, 2 examples. Ghostbusters 2016. There was nobody in that whole piece of shit movie I cared about, and I watched it. I watched it because I figured out this was going to be ground zero. This was going to be patient zero for everything. When I saw how they marketed it, when I saw how they went after fans, I was like, I need to know what's going on. I need to watch this. And so I watched it multiple times. To my own detriment. Okay. And and there was nobody to care about in that whole entire movie. Now, when you look at Ghostbusters Afterlife, you care about that family. You care about people, everybody in that movie. Yep. And that's the difference. If you don't care about the people that you're asked to go on an adventure with, then okay, you're not going to feel stakes. You're not going to feel any stakes at all. Beautiful thing about Doctor Who, all the way up to Jodie Whittaker, was even Peter Capaldi. You cared about him in some extent, but Jodie Whittaker
Yeah.
I watched like a few episodes, and I was like, I don't give a shit if the Daleks like or the Cybermen take her. I don't care. I don't care. As a matter of fact, I kind of prefer her, you know, to Cybermen take her. Anyway.
Right.
But that's the bottom
absolutely.
line.
It's how it's become. It's like, yeah, it's
What
you know,
the-
do you really care about the characters in the medium? You know,
Mhm.
it's
I
but
trust.
yeah,
Trust me.
it's
When
crazy.
people meet this guy, they're going to care what happens to him. They're going to care.
Yeah, but how do they? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so look at a movie like Predators. Do you remember Predators?
Yeah, I
where
remember
they're
Predators.
stuck into the
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trying to kill one another, but
The
so
planet,
yeah, they're trying to kill one another, nothing in common. So
Mm-hmm.
where in there in the movie? I mean, I'm guessing it's that they all have one they have one common enemy, so that's what binds them together. Simply put,
Right.
you know.
Right.
But I mean,
yeah.
I'm trying
Didn't
to
really
think.
care. No. I guess they try to set up what's his name, the soy
Adrian
guy,
Brody.
Adrian
Yeah,
Brody is
yeah.
like the badass, but then he turned out to be a killer too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at the end of the day, you watch that movie and you're just like, what did I watch? Why did I care? Why did I spend my time? There's nobody.
No.
I didn't care about anybody the whole entire time. I didn't care about anybody. I mean, the only guy that was seemingly had
mean, he tried-
had some personality was the doctor,
on,
and he turned out to be a
Arnie.
serial killer.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on. Kill me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Kill me.
Yeah.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
Come
my
on,
line. You
come
gotta
on,
kill
Arnie. I'm here. Come on. It wasn't quite Arnie. You know, come on, kill me.
Right. Well, I mean, I didn't even watch that last one, Prey. I'm like, there's no way there's going to be anybody I care about in this movie. There's just no way I'm going to care about anybody. Why are we praising somebody who's prey? You know? Why are we lifting that up? Okay. And I was like, the only way she could win is if they give her plot armor.
They tore. Yeah, it's funny because I mean, the Critical Drinker tore that movie apart, and I watched it. He dissected it so scene by scene by scene by premise by everything. It was, what the hell was the point of the movie? You know, like it didn't make any sense. Yeah. You know, and then the action sequences were, I don't know. I mean, unrealistic. You know, really.
Right.
But
well, they said that you cared about some of the her fellow like her brother and some of the other warriors, but they all like got slaughtered, you know,
pretty much.
and this thing like this thing slaughtered them, but then left her, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, just too many contrivances, right? You got to have somebody to care about. The reason why Die Hard is the one I always point to, because Die Hard was like a sea change when it came to movies like that, the action movies. That guy, John McClane, bled all over the damn place. He bled. He had to like stitch up his damn foot from walking on glass. When he walked on glass, he felt it. Okay. And this guy was like, he was like going from, and he had to cheat to win every fight he was in. He had to cheat every time he wound up cheating. He shot people in the back. He didn't care. He was trying to survive, and people cared. I remember watching that, and actually, when I walked out of the theater, I felt like I'd been in a marathon because I cared. I cared what happened to him. Yippee-ki-yay, I mean, this guy was, he was somebody I cared about. I wanted him to succeed, and I wasn't sure he would. And that was like the first time I watched the movie where I wasn't sure he was going to make it. What?
John McClane as well is supposed to represent some normal person as well, not like bulky, super big guy or a military guy like Rambo. It's just like a regular guy, a cop, and what have you, thrust into this situation that's out of his control, essentially, and obviously come out on top. So, It was very good. I actually watched my Die Hard movies not long ago. So,
but see,
Yeah.
before that,
Just before
before that,
Christmas,
there wasn't anything like that before that. You know, maybe First Blood, the first Rambo movie. But Rambo died at the end of that book.
Mhm.
People don't know this, but he died at the end of that book.
Committed
So,
suicide.
Yeah, he wasn't supposed to make it out of there.
Bro,
And,
that fucking book
haven't read
sucks.
it.
I hate that book, man.
Yeah,
That
it's
book
bleak.
is
It's
fucking-
bleak, piece of shit.
Holy fuck, bro. Listen, that book kind of, you can feel
But
it.
yeah,
because-
but he was like taking damage during that movie. He was taking damage, but he kept coming. He was just like, it's like, holy shit, that this is the kind of quality of men that they were in Vietnam, and they're back up, and you felt for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got to care, and I keep saying this over and over again. I feel like I get boring sometimes saying it, but if I don't care about your protagonist, if I don't care about the person, the people, even if you got a amoral piece of shit person, at least if I care about him, I'll follow him. Deadpool, I cared about Deadpool. I knew he couldn't die, but I cared what happened to him, and I watched the damn movie.
Right?
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
good.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean,
you got to
They were
care
good.
about
They don't-
you got to care about the character, the main character, the protagonist, and stuff like that, and not incite the fans, the actor who's playing the protagonist, to not like you and not like your character and not like the route you're going, and that's kind of counterproductive to pretty much anything in life.
Mhm.
I mean, but especially,
does anybody here? Does anybody here honestly care if Ray Skywalker made it to the end of movies?
couldn't give a shit.
Couldn't give a shit. Didn't care.
Nope.
Did not care. Not once. I mean,
Nope.
she first of all, she didn't struggle through anything. I mean,
No.
she's always going to come out on top. She figured out the Millennium Falcon's problem. With Han Solo couldn't do for decades.
Right.
Just right out of the box, she
right.
figured out. Oh, I fixed your hyperdrive. Seriously?
Huh?
Seriously, you fixed the hyperdrive. Okay.
That's what he said. Huh?
As soon as I saw that, I'm like, yeah, I'm out. I watched the rest of the movie, but I was out with that at that point.
I'm just trying to think where this shit started. Like, what movies we can kind of narrow it down to that. Like, I mean, this has been going on for a long time. Let's just we all know that. But where? I mean, is it generational? Is it a generational thing that these things come out? Because I mean, look, you have Reefer Madness in the 50s, and you just keep going on more and more, and you got something else, and then you have something else and something else. I mean, look, nobody gave a fuck about Tu Wong Fu until you wanted to throw that shit in our face,
right?
That's the way I see it. And I mean, even in that movie, you have people that are struggling with something, and you feel for them because one of the things about that movie is you have Patrick Swayze, right?
Mm-hmm.
He knows he's a woman. He knows he's a man. In the whole entire movie, he knows he's a man, and it's the movie is about him and his struggle with accepting that he is a man, and that he wants to dress like a woman. And at the end of the movie, what happens? He's accepted, but he still knows he's a man because him being a man is one of the reasons why they had the power to get the people off the town or whatever. But we didn't give a shit. Because the story is what we cared about. I mean, I know it's weird to use that reference, but we're getting such an attack right now from this community. It's being amplified, and people forget. Hey, this shit has been in our culture for a long time. It's just now it's being thrown in our direction, and it's time to make. And I feel bad for I don't feel bad for trans people. I feel bad for the people that they want to live their life this way, and they're being bothered by the bullshit. I don't agree with these drag shows and all this shit for children. Hell no. But you know what? There are some people that want to live their life like that. Fucking let them. They don't bother me. I don't bother them. It is what it is,
Right.
And I always believe that, I don't watch too many sporting events and stuff like that because I'm looking at the person that's fucking poking the bear, not the person that's going to be, bullying around, because that's what they're doing. They just find something, throw it in there, let them fight about this for a little bit, and then when we can't find anything more else to fight for, let them. Here's another thing. Hey, let's throw a shitty movie so they can argue about that, because look how many people watch Velma just to critique it.
Hate watch, yeah,
it's a hate watch, and it's still a watch. Look at all the publicity they got. Look at all that. You know what I mean?
But they were bragging it was the most watched animated movie to ever be on HBO Max, and I was like, you sent them the wrong message, guys. You sent them the wrong message. They probably picked up a season 2, but just off of you guys hate watching it so much, and it's just like whatever, But bottom line is we just want something to like take us out of ourselves for a while, and anything. If at any moment in a movie I suddenly remember I'm sitting in the theater watching a movie, then you've lost me. Okay.
Escapism.
Movies,
you want your
escapism, even a television show. I mean, I watch crappy 80s television all the time. Okay. And they're, you can tell they use the plot wheel. Okay, and you can,
they do.
They do. You can tell the contrivances, and when they're coming, you can tell this stuff, right? But there's something like, but you have a main character you care about. The early seasons of Supernatural before it got too ridiculous to watch. You cared about those brothers. You wanted them to succeed. You wanted them to survive, and but we've lost that. I can't really tell you of any television show that I would watch right now. Nothing. There's nothing out there that I would watch right now.
Last one I just watched was the King of Tulsa was the last one I watched that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
That was the last one that I really enjoyed. There's no agenda. There's no nothing.
No,
you care about the character.
Yeah. Okay.
You care about the character. You really do.
Yeah.
It's there's some emotional parts in it. You care about the guy. You get invested.
Well, I've tried to break down Breaking Bad for years, trying to say, why did I root for this guy all the way to the end, all the way to to the the Baby Blue, My Baby Blue song over the credits. Why did I care so much? And I was like, because no matter how bad he got, no matter the awful things he did, I still wanted him to succeed.
Yeah.
And even when he was Heisenberg, and you realize there really wasn't, it was always Heisenberg. Heisenberg is actually who he really is. But you still rooted for him because here he is being at his most Heisenberg worst, and he's cradling his baby to his chest because he knows he won't see her again.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, if you can keep me caring for you all the way through, then I will follow you on the journey. And that's simply, they've lost the ability to do that, to create and craft these characters that we follow, we care about, we want to see what happens to them. They've lost the ability. And what they're doing is they're trying to take these characters we did care about and then shoehorn them into this new paradigm, but then make them unlikable. Picard is an example of that. We cared about Jean-Luc Picard when he was, but now they made him completely unlikable and somebody that I don't want to follow anymore. And it's not working. It's not. It's not going to work.
No.
But that's where they've lost it. I got to care. I've got to care. It's all down to that. Do I care? Yep. Anyway,
And
Willie,
to have a
Willie's got to take off.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess we all probably have
thanks,
to.
Willie. Thank you, man, for being on.
All right. I'm sorry I dominated so much of the last bit of it.
That's okay.
Sorry about that. Anyway, if any of you guys thought that I said anything worth hearing, I'll be on my channel tonight at 7:00. So it is what it is. Maybe two of these reprobates will show up. I don't know. We'll find out.
We might.
Okay.
We just might. Well, Willie, man, hey,
not sure what.
You taking off now, Willie? I can't hear him. He's muted.
Willie.
Yeah, I
What, is he
mute
gone?
because there's no, I'm here,
He's
guys.
muted.
T Bunny, I will see you tonight. I gotta get some
All right.
stuff ready. I will be there. As always, Wookie, thank you for having me on. This was a blast. Hey, make sure you guys like and subscribe to everybody's channel here. You got a good group of guys here. You got good shit going on. Make sure you like and subscribe my channel. I'm doing pretty good for a new channel in my own personal opinion. So I really do appreciate the support, guys. You know, T Bunny, Wookie.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're gonna try to support
you guys
there.
are awesome. I appreciate
I got a
it.
ticker in the chat. I got a ticker on the screen there for Willie.
So bye, guys.
So I don't have to hear him bitch. Yeah.
See you, mate.
There you go. All right.
See you later.
Anyway,
No problem. We'll see you guys.
Cool.
Have a good
All right.
afternoon.
Have a
All
good one, T Bunny. We'll see you.
See you later.
All right. Later, man.
Okay.
Bye.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Good. Cruel. It's me and you.
Yes. I guess it is.
Cool.
Yes, it is.
Had a blast for the last 3 hours. Yep.
I know.
Had a blast.
I don't know if it was just you, but I was experiencing some lag and technical difficulties. So
I did too. Yes, I was having a lot of glitching, a lot of lag.
that's why it's a bit quiet there.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if it was on just my end or what, but you were experiencing it too. So
Yeah, I was always constantly looking down at. It could be I was looking down at the box to see if the blinking light was off again. No, it's been fine. So I haven't had any problems with it with the internet as of late. So
Yeah, I think I was definitely having a time frickin' delay for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, a lot of overlap.
It's weird. Yeah, but it doesn't seem to be affecting now.
Well, I'm speaking now, Time Prophet. Okay.
I know, right? He's like, hey,
it was just I wasn't sure if the technical difficulties were on my end. That's why I kept my mouth shut. So, yes, in case it exploded or something.
I gotta say, thanks to Cam for dropping in.
Yeah,
thanks to the Time Prophet and Abby someone, and I think who else was here? My brain is slow. Gobby guy jumped back in the chat.
He did. Yes, I saw that.
Yep, he did, and I think Disaster Area was on. Melvin Deeply as well.
Melvin was there. I saw
saying
Melvin.
hello. Yep. I think. Yeah, let's see. Melvin, scrolling up, and yeah, Melvin. Edge of Time. Yeah, Edge of Time was in the chat. And if I forgot anybody, I apologize. But we're gonna call it a day because it's almost lunchtime here, and I'm hungry.
It's tea time. I'm hungry.
There you go. There you go. Again, thanks to everybody in the chat for coming out today and listening to us. And we hope to see you again real soon, everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Crual Birab, for being on. Thanks for WillyP, Gobby Guy, and T Bunny for being on. And we will see you all next Saturday. Everybody, bye-bye, and have a good weekend.